going on, fellow fantasy people? And of course, what is going on? The catch. Fam, we've got Steven in the house. What is going on, man?
Yeah, good to be back, baby. Got my free jersey that I just got. My Jamar Chase jersey had to represent. He absolutely saved me in fantasy football this week
He
in our
did.
personal league. He just every time I think that he's at his peak, he comes out and he has a performance like that. Man, he's an absolute stud.
Him and Chris Godwin saved you, and who else saved you, Steven? Who else?
Two a time.
Two a time. Thank
Two
you.
had a great game. Two had a great
He
team.
did. He did. I was
But
really happy because he was my top streamer of the week.
yeah, no,
So
but in all seriousness, I mean, is Jamar Chase? I mean, I think right now he's like the number 2 receiver in the league. But is this guy like gonna shatter every rookie record?
I think he already has. I don't even think
Yeah,
he needs to
yeah,
do anything else.
yeah. He's a stud, man.
Uh, he looks quite good. Yes, 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 yes.
Ooh, classy man is into the chat.
There's always a classy man to arrive first, Richard Glass. What's going on, man? What else is up? What did you think of week 7? How'd you get through week 7?
Nail biting to the end because I mean, fantasy wise, in the sleeper or in the fantasy catch fam league, I was terrible. I mean, Matt Ryan didn't do well, but finally all my bye weeks are done in that league so that they can get good. But in our personal league, I had DK Metcalf and Alvin Kamara opposed to me. I was up like 50 before the game, and dude, every single play they just kept giving it to Kamara. And DK, of course, had the huge boom shot in the beginning of the game.
We were fully aware in last night's stream. We were tracking your score, and I'm not gonna lie, most people were rooting for you to lose. But
Of course they were. Yeah, they were
yeah,
rooting for the
yeah,
agony.
that did happen last night. We were fully aware of how your game was going.
I was
Um,
stressing out, man.
It was a great win. I mean, you got a great win. I got a great win, both in our personal league, and I think my win was slightly crazier. It was pretty intense there. Uh,
You got saved by the Colts, baby.
I did. I did.
Yeah.
It's crazy. If I almost last second swapped out the Colts for the 49ers defense.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that would have been really
I would have
depressing.
lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Glass, if I can't claim Goodert or Cook off waivers, I'm thinking of Sweeney or Uzma. Thoughts? I'd lean Uzma here between those two.
Do you fear? I mean, I'm sure you're acknowledging it, but do you fear that you're kind of chasing the points with Uzma though, and with Sweeney at least? There's the fact that they're going to be playing Miami and probably put up like 30 to 40 points.
Sure.
And I think he even had a touchdown in the limited action he saw. So I don't know. I mean, I think Sweeney's not a terrible play either, but Uzma, yeah, I think he deserves the pick there.
I think we've talked about Uzma a little bit this past week, and I haven't been sold on him until this week. And at this point in time, I mean, there's a caution with it, right? It's a boom or bust play. Don't get me wrong, but when he booms, he's booming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
he
I
is
feel
big
okay
time
about
movement.
Uzma. Yeah, but I think Sweeney's a fine option as too, Richard. Let's see, Richard. I went 4-1, highest scoring team. And my 4 other leagues sucked in the catch league. It's probably Steven's fault for some
Yeah.
reason. Marky Mark, what's going on, brother? It's always good to see you. 8Z8 Beats, what is going on? Dropped 188 last
Woo! Cooking with
Dangerous.
Diesel. Cooking with
Dangerous.
Diesel. I'd like to know what that team was composed of, man.
Richard Glass, that's why I like Sweden. Yeah, it's not, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Amon Ra with a big fat 0 felt real good. Yeah, I had him in my 20-man league. I started him.
And
I wasn't
like
going to win on it anyways. So.
this week he could blow up, right? Yeah, that you don't really ever know with the Lions.
We just can't trust this
Yeah.
Lions team. Not
Yeah.
at all.
Which sucks.
It does suck. All right, so I was thinking we hop right into the segment for the night.
Yeah. I like
And then
that.
we hop in, we end things with fantasy Q&A. So I do want to ask you this, Stephen. I'm interested to know, do you know the top 5 running backs fantasy football right now without looking at anything?
Without looking,
Yeah.
Obviously Henry and Eckler.
That's 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you name the other 3?
Okay, hold on a second, buddy.
No,
Hold
no,
on.
no holding on.
Okay,
Just off your head, who do you think the top 5 are?
I put Kamara on there.
Okay.
I would put Patterson in there.
Good guess.
Holy crap! There's a
Yes.
lot of the line here. There's a lot of the line. Oh,
I'll give you 3 more guesses to get the other 2.
oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you'll give me some time to think about this. All right.
Oh, not much time.
Okay.
The clock's
Don't.
ticking.
All right.
The
Ah,
Jeopardy theme song is on.
oh man, this is tough. Zeke.
Ooh, nope.
Who? Okay. Is it going to be totally a surprise?
Not necessarily, I don't think.
DeAndre Swift.
Yep, he's on there.
So that's five.
No, you missed one.
So Patterson
No,
and
Patterson's not on there.
oh, he's not. Oh my
Uh-uh.
gosh. Okay.
You get one more guess.
Um, I gotta go. I gotta go mix in here.
Nope. Surprised you didn't get this one. Okay. Number 1,
Is it
Derrick Henry.
JT?
Yep. Number 1 is Derrick Henry. Number 2 is Jonathan Taylor. Number 3, DeAndre Swift. Number 4, Austin Eckler. Number 5, Kamara. Of course, that's dependent on scoring format, but in general sense, that's where we're at, man. It's a little crazy. JT is up to
It's.
number 2.
I mean, hey, you know how
Swift's
it is
3.
with JT. He starts off terrible every
Yeah,
season. I guess that's his. That's
yeah,
his mo. But
yeah.
I'm liking. I'm liking him rest of the season too, man.
I
I
do
think we're
too.
starting to hit our stride.
So my point of that segment of that was that was grueling to watch Steven sit there like, ah,
I
ah.
wanted it so bad. I got close. I got
You're
close.
close. It was good. It's good work. And I do think, I mean, some of the bye weeks kind of affected some of that to some degree. But
Yeah.
anyways, at this point in the season, man, Jonathan Taylor is going up against Tennessee Titans this week, right here
Mhm.
in week 8, who are the 8th best team in fantasy football against opposing running backs. But it just doesn't matter anymore, right? You're starting Jonathan Taylor every single week.
Mhm.
DeAndre Swift has got a beautiful matchup against Philly, who are the 30th worst team against opposing running backs. Uh, but he's another guy that there's just no more questions for the rest of the season, right? You're starting him every single week. So
Mhm.
I just want to put that out there because there's been a lot of questions about those two guys. And yeah, they're ahead of guys like Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Alvin Kamara, Austin Eckler, right? Nick Chubb. I mean, Dalvin Cook's been hurt, but those two guys are up there, man. So,
Yeah.
anyways, there's my introduction to the
I kind of
must
wish I
start.
had a. I wish I had an introduction like that too, because that is pretty nuts.
Well, I was thinking if you were to ask me the top 5 wide receivers, I actually wouldn't know off the top of my head, right? I mean, I could guess, but I wouldn't know them for sure. So, James Robinson must start fantasy running back of the week here in week 8, going up against the Seattle Seahawks. So this is a pretty obvious choice, right? Seattle has actually been bumped down to the 31st worst team in the league against opposing running
Mm.
backs. They are no longer the 32nd worst team. So Seattle's improved, guys. Shout out Seattle Seahawks. Uh, but it's a beautiful matchup, right? There's not a lot to get into here, right? The last 4 weeks where James Robinson played, right? Because obviously week 7, Jags were on bye week. He had at least 17 fantasy points, and in 3 of those outings, at least 20 fantasy points. Going up against Seattle Seahawks, James Robinson is an extreme must start and my must start of the week.
Yeah, I love that. I think this Jags team is going to do pretty well against the Seattle team, and I think the reason maybe they got worse or better, right, is just this game against the Saints that they just had was interesting. But I think James Robinson and this Jags team, they're finally kind of connected. I think the Jags understand that the main way that they're going to get down the field is giving it to James Robinson. So one thing Urban Meyer is doing correctly. So I definitely like James Robinson to feast. They got a chance to win this game, which
Oh
is
yeah.
pretty wild to say, but they do have a chance to win this game against the Seahawks.
Oh yeah. You know who's the number 1 best team in fantasy football against opposing running backs? You know that.
Stand by Buccaneers.
No, Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Because he can boy Khalil Herbert. He cooked the Bucks last week.
He did. He did. Actually, the Panthers were number 1 before that, though.
Wow.
Believe it or not. Cordero Pounder and Cheese is going up up against Carolina Panthers this week, right? And guess what happened last week when Devonta Booker went up against Panthers, right? He actually had double-digit points. Okay, he actually had over 13 points. Now, given a lot of that point value was a little bit of garbage time, right? But nonetheless, okay, I like Patterson this week. Okay, this is a guy who I feel like we're going to get questions about. People aren't going to be entirely confident in starting him in this matchup. I would definitely bench Mike Davis, who only got you a point last week, which we definitely did not expect against Miami Dolphins. But nonetheless, I know it's a little bit. It feels risky, right? But with Patterson's overall usage, man, I mean, 14 rushing attempts last week, the week before that, 12 rushing attempts. And oh no, I'm so sorry. I got Devonta Booker's numbers pulled up. I got them backwards. But hey, shout out Devonta Booker. But nonetheless, doesn't change that much. Last week, Cordero Patterson, 14 rushing attempts. And then 2 weeks ago, not including the bye week, right? Another 14 rushing attempts. And then you just look at these targets, man, at least 5 targets in the last 2 games, right? And 8 red zone touches in the last 2 games. I mean, these numbers are mind blowing. They're fantastic. They're exactly what you want. I don't know. There's only a handful of other running backs out there who are getting this type of usage. So I say keep him in your lineups. I say don't worry about the Panthers defense. Just put him out there. I mean, we don't call him Cordero Patterson and cheese for no reason, guys. Okay.
No, and hey, I think you made some good points there because I mean, you asked me about the top 5 running backs, and I thought he was in there, and the
Yeah.
reason is because of that nuts usage he gets. This guy sees the ball an absurd amount of times. That target percentage is the thing that I like the most, right?
Yeah.
I don't care. He could be totally useless as a running back that week, and if
Sure.
he's seeing 5+ targets out of the passing game, which is very common because maybe last week I had Calvin Ridley in my must start wide receivers, right? I thought he was going to be the guy come back. He had a good game, right? But with that said, what we are starting to see this Falcons offense turn into is Kyle Pitts, Cordero Patterson, next man up, right? And then
Mhm.
it's Calvin Ridley, maybe, right? So Cordero Patterson is seeing a insane amount of this Falcons offense, and I think there's going to be points on the board in this division matchup too, right? Matt
Mhm.
Ryan always finds a way to put points up, so I
Yep.
like this. I like this play, and I think as your fantasy owners, man, it's time to put some trust into the Patterson and Cheese because he's been doing it for y'all season.
Yeah, I mean, his production's his maybe not his production, but his fantasy points have dwindled down slightly, but not enough to where I don't want to start him, right?
No,
Not even
absolutely not.
close. Another easy start, right? We got some easy starts out there, but a little lesser profile guys. I mean, to some degree. Okay. Joe Mixon, right? Going up against the Jets, who are now the 32nd worst team in the National Football League against opposing defenses,
Get
right? It's no
smoked.
longer Seattle. So I love Joe Mixon this week. This is the best matchup he's had all season long. I mean, last week against Baltimore, they're actually 24th ranked team, and he didn't have that crazy of a game, but he just didn't need to, right? I mean, the Bengals were throwing the football all over the place. The closest matchup we've had on the season was week 6 against Detroit, the 29th worst team in the league against opposing running backs, where he put up over 23 points. I look for him to bounce back this week. I mean, if you consider 11.9 fantasy points a bad week, I think he's closer to the 20-point mark against the Jets. I won't be surprised if he gets in the end zone twice. So, not a lot to discuss here, but Joe Mixon is staying in your lineup.
Yeah, one of my favorite backs in the game, just because he's a 3 down back that can really do it all. A lot of people are jumping on this Piran trade, but it's Mixon's show, and it is his show for good. This is also a game script that I think is going to see a lot of running because no need to let Joe Burrow take unnecessary hits and be chucking it around the yard playing this Jets defense, which is surprisingly pretty good against the pass, but
Mhm.
against the run, they've been getting shredded, right?
Oh, yeah.
Patriots were running up and down this defense.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I like this player a lot.
Another actually, I think this might not be as easy of a play. I think it is personally, but just in case, okay. Daryl Henderson, we expected to have a
Ooh,
massive day against the Detroit Lions, who we just talked about with Joe Mixon, right? Um, and the game script just wasn't there. The Lions got up on the board early, right? They made this a contested football game, at least in the first half, and we just didn't see Henderson have. I mean, still had 15 touches. He had a good amount of usage, but the Rams just didn't need to lean on him in any sense, right? They needed to throw the football, right? And also, I mean, he didn't get in the end zone, right? If he had gotten in the end zone, this would have been a fine stat line. But nonetheless, a disappointing week last week for Daryl Henderson. So this week he gets the Houston Texans, who are actually, I mean, they're still the 20th worst team in the league against opposing running backs. So they're not good by any means, but they're better, right, than the last three teams he's faced in Seattle, the Giants, and the Detroit Lions, right? So I can feel maybe if you have, maybe a I don't know, a Swift, a Mixon, and a Patterson, and a Henderson, or whatever it may be, right? You have four running backs you're confident in. You're trying to make the decision, and maybe you don't feel great about Henderson. And even though those those four running backs I just named, you should start all of them. I just talked about them, but right, if you've got Henderson out there and you don't have full confidence, I think this is a week to keep him in your lineups. Okay, last week was the first week on the whole season where he played in a game, right? Because he was out in week 3 where he didn't have at least 14 fantasy points, right?
Yeah.
He's been as consistent as we've had. I mean, he was due for a bad game, and it's crazy that it happened against the Lions, but nonetheless, I think you move forward here in Week 8 with full confidence in our guy, D Tendies, Daryl
Yeah.
Henderson.
And you can be mad at last game, right? Because that was a great opportunity to pad the stats, especially in Apocalypse. It was a great opportunity to just cook the books with him right there. I thought he was going to kill it. But
Yeah,
I'm also not totally surprised because what did we say all last week as well, right? Oh, this is going to be the Sean McVay and Matt Stafford show. They're going to
sure.
come out here against Detroit and they're going to light up with fireworks. Well, what happened? Matt Stafford came out there and was like quarterback of the week, absolutely destroyed this Detroit Lions defense. That was a very game driven script. They were trying to do that, right? And I think Henderson was just the odd man out, right? The,
Yeah,
the one surprise to me is that he didn't find his work in the passing game, right? But
sure.
again, this would just turn into a situation where it was just bombs ahead all game long. I think he comes against the Texans defense, and I think he gets to work, man. You can't not have him in there. I will say, just a quick little nugget before moving on too. I saw some reports that Cam Akers could potentially come back this season, right?
For the
I would,
playoffs.
yeah, for the playoffs, but still pretty
Yeah.
cool, right? That
Oh, it
would
is
really
cool.
boosted this Rams team. I mean, Cam
Oh, yeah.
Akers would have been a gold mine to have in fantasy this year.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just imagine if, I mean, as well as Daryl Henderson has played, there's no knock on him, but just imagine if Akers was the guy. I
Oh
mean,
my god!
he might be a
Remember our
top five
mock
back.
drafts? Cam
Oh, yeah.
Akers was like the guy, man.
He
We were
was.
taking him so quick, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see here. Last must start, and then I got a couple guys we'll just sprinkle in that I really like this week as well. Damian Harris is facing the Chargers, and the Chargers are one of these defenses that we think about them kind of like the Ravens, right? We hear the Chargers or the Ravens, and maybe the Steelers to some degree, and we think, oh, that's a really good defense. I don't want to start any of my guys against them, right? But the Chargers are the 28th worst team in the league against opposing running backs. Okay, in the last 2 weeks, combined, Damian Harris has over 200 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. So I really like where he's at this point in the season. An interesting thing is, right, JJ's getting work, Brandon Bolden's getting work. There's been sprinkles of Ramondre Stevenson in there
hmm
as well. But the dominant guy, the number one guy, the bell house back, right, is Damian Harris. Okay.
hmm
And I think you stick with him here in week 8, right? I know this is a player who you can feel really confident about one week, and then the next week you're like, "Oh man, it's the Patriots, it's Bill Belichick, Brandon Bolden's getting work, right? Other guys are getting touches. Mac Jones, I'm not really sure about him, right? How is this offense going to look?" But nonetheless, man, I think you have full confidence here in Week 8 and Damian Harris, and you keep him plugged in your lineup.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you hear this. You have the same conviction that I do about Damien Harris. There were some questions in the defense video today about this Chargers team. And the Chargers, I mean, I think they have been super disappointing this year, just in terms of their overall value. I mean, skill position players all over the place, obviously led by Bosa, but they've just not turned out this year.
Yeah,
I look for Damon Harris to just get a ton of work. He's just continue to be that bell cow and get some touchdown opportunities for sure.
absolutely, man. So there's a couple other guys that I just feel good about who maybe aren't as highly ranked, maybe don't have the best matchups, right? So I'll just go through them real quickly. James Conner, okay, scoring off against the Packers, right? Packers are the 14th best team in National Football League against opposing running backs fantasy. So it's uh it's not a great matchup, right? And he hasn't had a touchdown. Or actually, I'm sorry, he has had a touchdown in the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry, but in the last, let's see here, since week 3, let's go off this stat, right? He's got 2, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns since week 3. Okay, he missed one against Cleveland, but outside of that, man, he is finding the end zone in these games, right? And this is probably the most competitive game that we've seen the Cardinals go, go up in. Maybe since week 5 versus San Francisco, but definitely the biggest game since week 4 versus the Chargers, right? So I really, really like this matchup overall. And I'm sorry, that was the Rams, not the Chargers, but one of those LA teams out there, right? But overall, man, I just think this is going to be a very competitive game. And I think that Connor is going to get those opportunities that we'd like to see him get, right? So I would say keep James Connor in your lineup overall.
Yeah, totally agree. And he looks good outside the red zone too. He's just been efficient every time he touches the football.
Yeah, yeah. I like me some James Connor, man. Really do. Okay. Another interesting guy, right? Khalil Herbert has got the San Francisco 49ers. And hey, I said it all last week, heading into Biocalypse, right? I just kept bringing up. I think Herbert has stolen the show. Okay. And this does worry me for people like me who are huge David Montgomery fans, right? And nonetheless, for now, it's fine while Montgomery's out. But the Niners, not a fantastic matchup once again. They're the 17th ranked team in the league against opposing running backs, but it's not a bad matchup. And last week, he had Tampa Bay, and he still rushed for 100 rushing yards and had 33 receiving yards as well. In his first 2 overall starts, right? Uh, well, I guess you could consider, yeah, week 5 was basically a start too. But nonetheless, he's had at least 75 rushing yards in these first 3 games. Only 1 score, right? But I have a feeling he could find the end zone here and get another score this week. And nonetheless, man, I just like Khalil Herbert, right? I know Cohen might be coming back. I know Williams has had touches as well, but this guy looks good. He really does. And I like this matchup versus the Niners.
Yeah, the one thing that Herbert proved to me is that he earned the trust of this locker room, earned the trust of the coaching staff. He saw an absurd amount of touches and defeated the best run defense in football, in my opinion, man. He,
Yeah.
he made the Bucks look pretty foolish, ran up and down on them. That was the one bright spot of this Bears offense. And that's how they're going to get Justin Fields on page 2, right? Because Justin Fields is not doing a good job playing quarterback right now. But if he hands the ball off, can kind of edge back that pass rush led by Bosa, I think that's really going to be the way the Bears hang in this game against the 49ers.
Man, Leonard Fournette's got a tough matchup this week against the Saints, right? Number 3 in the league against opposing running backs. I don't know that I care though. I don't. At least 12 touches in the last 4 weeks in every single game, and the game where he had 12 touches was against Miami. So I mean, the Bucks were kind of beating up on them and everything. So I don't really even count it, right? And then his next worst game in terms of touches was again last week against Chicago. We had 15, but once again the Bucks were beating up on Chicago, so it's like they didn't really need him, right? But he's been just so consistent as of late, right? I mean, he's running back 10 in fantasy right now, so
Mm-hmm.
I think you keep him in your lineup over the last 4 weeks. He's got 4 touchdowns, right? At least 60 rushing yards in every game, but but only one of those games was 67 rushing yards. In the other 3, he was 80 rushing yards or more. So I like where Fournette is. I say keep him in your lineup. I'll get through these last 2 guys real quick too. Coming off the bye week, right? Bills were on bye week last week. The last time we saw Zach Moss was against the Tennessee Titans, and he was pretty disappointing. We really liked him going into week 6 overall, but nonetheless, man, you guys may have forgotten about our guy Zach Moss just a little bit, right? Coming off the bye week, but the Miami Dolphins are the 27th worst team in fantasy football against opposing running backs. And listen to this, man. After that, he gets the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then in week 10, he gets the Jets. So I don't think we're going to be forgetting about Zach Moss anytime soon. And I don't dislike Devin Singletary, but I think Moss is still my guy in terms of consistency, and I like him this week here.
Bills,
Yeah.
Bills somehow got such an easy schedule. It's like the Bills and the Bucks, right? The 2 best teams in the NFL, maybe outside the Cardinals, somehow have pretty easy schedules too, right? I think Zach Moss is an absolute play here, and I like Leonard Fournette as well. I think he's earned the respect of fantasy owners to not bench him, right? And unless you're in like an 8 or 10 man league, you can't consider it because he's just been a stud all year.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Yeah, he's just another one of those players that we can't bench anymore, right?
Yeah.
Darrell Williams, I'm not in love with this play. Okay, he had a very, very bad game last week, but the Chiefs had a very, very bad game last week overall against Tennessee Titans. But listen, man, the Chiefs have got to win this football game. If the
Massive
Chiefs
game.
do not beat the Giants in primetime television this weekend, and
Oh, man.
I think their season's officially over. Like, I am ready to say if they don't beat the Giants, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be very bad, right? So I just like the likelihood of Darrell Williams finding the end zone. Okay. I'm not in love with this play, but the Giants have been awful, right? They're the 26th worst team in the league against opposing running backs. I just think there's a high likelihood that Williams ends up in the end zone. Maybe once, maybe twice. We'll find out. But nonetheless, I'd say if you've got him and he's still hanging around on your roster, your bench, whatever, play him. Why not? Kenneth Gainwell. I did want to bring up Kenneth Gainwell, and then we'll top off my segment. Sorry, guys, I went a little crazy with this segment. I like 20 players, but Kenneth Gainwell, I really like this week, being that he's facing the Detroit Lions. Okay, they're awful against running backs, 29th in the league, right? We talked about this last night. We talked about this in the waiver wire video I put out yesterday as well. I'm not going to be surprised that Boston Scott gets some work as well, especially towards the red zone, right? So I don't actually mind Boston Scott this week also. But I think I have more confidence in Gainwell. So I do want to put that out there. I think he's a very strong start for the week. So there you go.
I think Gainwell's going to be good. Very upset that I dropped him in my personal leagues. And of course, that week, Miles Sanders gets hurt. But man, Gainwell was better than Sanders all season, right?
Yeah.
So now he's getting the starting role. I think the other attractive thing about getting a guy like Gainwell and starting him as well is this is an opportunity for him to earn the #1 role rest of the season. And the Eagles were starting to lean their philosophy, at least they wanted to, into a more run-heavy approach because they were hearing the negative comments and negative feedback about how little they ran the ball. I know the coaches were coming out every week outspoken and saying that we need to change this up, but I think this is going to be the time to do it too, right? This Detroit game is not going to be a gimme game, right? But I do think Gainwell is going to get a ton of work regardless because he's such a good pass catching back as well. So I love that play.
I agree. I see Richard coming through saying, mark this down that John is promoting Gainwell. Fair enough.
Hey, I'm going to get him in our league, in the Catch Fam League, because I'm the worst team in the league probably. So I'm probably going to get best priority.
Oh, I thought you were talking about our personal league. I was like, I don't know, man.
No, I definitely won't get him there. I know you're going to get him probably.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Okay, should we take a brief intermission before you do the must start receivers? See who's in the chat.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
There you go, guys. Must start running backs. I named like half the league, so there you go. I really was trying to I was really looking into it this week. There's just a lot of favorable matchups this week. All right, let's see here. Nate, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Should I start DJ Moore, Hopkins, or Lamb? All of them. All of them. I would say Hopkins. Is that crazy?
I think I would probably lean to some other options there. I mean, all three of these guys are great plays.
Yeah.
You know, in the must start video, not to bite in too much into my segment, I go over CeeDee Lamb. I think he's going to be a good start this week, but I would have included DJ Moore if I wasn't including him every damn week. You know, I love this guy. You know, I love the target share this guy takes. So I actually think that out of these options, I'd probably lean DJ Moore or CeeDee Lamb here, honestly. And if you look at the numbers on DeAndre Hopkins, and then he's got that matchup against Green Bay, which is now without those receivers, so it could be less of a shootout than we were expecting. So, but yeah, I don't know.
I was just thinking that, I mean, Green Bay's secondary is relatively banged up, but I like all these guys.
That defense is good, man. Green Bay's defense is real, though.
There's an argument for all these guys here. So I think no matter what, you end up making a good choice. But I'll hold off. I have a feeling Steven will get more into that in a bit here. Richard Glass. Already got into this. I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh, some of my chat is repeating. I'm sorry, guys. Nate, who should I start, Gibson or Eckler? I'd say Eckler, hands down.
100p.
Juke says Steven, exclamation mark.
What is up, Juke? How you doing, my guy?
Bryant, hello. I was able to get Tyreek Hill in that trade that I was talking about yesterday. Now I have Adams, Hill, Johnson, and Debo. I traded Ridley, Waddle, and Lamar Jackson. I think you won the trade.
Holy shit. This team is stacked, yo.
I mean, I think just the combination of Adams and Hill is filthy. Right?
And you have Debo. Debo is a top 5 receiver. This guy's seeing better target share than anybody in the game right now.
And originally, Bryant was thinking of trading or putting Debo in that trade, and I
No,
really didn't want him to. I'm really happy.
no.
I mean, I think Ridley is a fine trade usage, right? And I think
Mhm.
Ridley, Waddle, and Jackson for Tyreek Hill, who has probably still the highest ceiling in the entire league in terms of fantasy receivers. I think it's amazing, man. I love that trade.
Let's not get twisted either. Johnson is one of my favorite receivers for
Yeah,
fantasy football,
yeah,
hands down.
yeah. I love that.
Mr. Consistency.
Absolutely, yeah. I love it. Duke, AB, and Thomas for DK, Gallup, and Parker. Who wins this trade? I I would have to go with the side that's getting DK, Gallup, and Parker. But
Yeah, I agree.
Steve and I really don't like Michael Thomas, so maybe we're being biased here.
Yeah, we are really biased, right? But also, I think that what we saw in DK Metcalf was super promising.
Yeah,
A lot of his value this week did come off of like one play, right? But he did seem to be like the number one read for Geno. Like Tyler Lockett's completely MIA in this offense, but I think DK Metcalf is going to be pretty solid
yeah.
for this offense going forward.
I agree. I agree. That's really the biggest takeaway. I mean, I had two things I was looking for last night. Is this chemistry with Metcalf and Geno Smith still there?
It
And
is.
is Rashad Penny going to be a factor? So I found out both my answers. Interesting, though, right? I mean, Alex Collins was clearly the
He's
better back, and it took Pete Carroll like 3 quarters to realize that, right? I
I'm
mean,
so glad I got Alex Collins, man. They
yeah,
run the ball every play. Like
I'm
I
so
cannot
glad
wait
I
to.
dropped him for you.
You know who you forgot to put in your must start video?
Hmm.
Alex Collins next week against Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's a fine
I mean, the
start.
guy is seeing the ball so much.
Yeah.
I think that's the way that the Seattle Seahawks are going to play football. That's the way Pete Carroll has always wanted to play football, which is just run the ball heavy down your throat.
You mean you
Uh,
wouldn't let Geno Smith just, you know,
Well, that was
be
one of the biggest reasons that Russell Wilson and him had so much beef was
sure,
because he wouldn't let Russell cook because he always wanted to have a run heavy centric offense. So
sure.
I think he's now getting his blessing, right? We could see Pete Carroll really try to go a little
Just make
egomaniac.
Geno the
Yeah,
starter.
I'm seeing it happen, man. He wins one game. I think he ships out Russell Wilson.
I mean, he's effectively lost 3 games for the Seahawks, right?
Hmm.
Interception, fumble, and 4 and out last night. So,
Yeah.
uh, I feel Geno's played fine, but he cannot finish these football games, right?
Mm-mm. No.
These are games that probably Russell Wilson would have finished for the Seahawks, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Kellen Brown, Eckler and Diggs for Kamara, Michael Thomas, and Hawkinson. I get Eckler side, and Schultz is my backup. I don't necessarily mind that if you're hurting at the receiver position, because I think you're getting a good swap between Eckler and Kamara. They're right next to each other in terms of points on the season.
Hmm.
Um, so I think you get quite an upgrade at receiver, giving up Thomas and Hawkinson. And I don't mind Schultz as your backup. I mean, I like Hawkinson, but Schultz is uh, even with the bye week is still a top 5 fantasy tight end on the season. So I don't mind the
Hawkins,
trade.
Hawkinson hasn't been that same guy he was the first few weeks too, right? So
Uh,
this offense is a completely different offense, it seems. But I want a ton of shares of Stephon Diggs rest of the season if I can. And so I think the flop of Kamara and Eckler, like you said, it's a pretty good comp there. They're kind of right in hand together.
Absolutely. Literally right next to each other.
Yeah.
Nate, Lamb, or Hopkins? I think we're leaning Lamb. I think we're leaning
Hmm.
Lamb. I'll hold
I
off for
love lamb too. I
Steven
love it.
has
It's one of my
yeah,
favorite foods at a good restaurant. Man, some lamb chops.
okay.
I like a little honey glaze on top of that lamb chop as well.
Honey glaze can never go wrong with.
No.
Ron the Goat, what's up, boys? What's going on? Single boy, hope you're doing well. I mean, singular boy. You know what I meant. Good to see you, Ron the Goat. Noah Toronto. Should I trade DK and Saquon for Najee Harris? I have good
Yeah.
receiver depth and need a healthy RB this week because I'm 2 and 5. This is something else I wanted to bring up. Saquon might play this week. I don't know for sure, but it's out there. He
I
may
think
play
he'd be
this
a
week.
good play too if he was
Yeah,
out there, right?
yeah,
But dude, I don't know. First gut instinct for me, right? Especially with the record that's provided here, always useful information when evaluating a trade. But I like that, man. I kind of like that. You're getting off of a super injury prone player in Saquon and getting off DK Metcalf, who we just kind of went to the table for and pounded on the table for him, but he's still tied with a pretty toxic asset in Geno. So Najee Harris has been a golden child for fantasy football so far. I like that move.
I don't hate the move. I mean, I'm not going to bet against Najee Harris, right? If you need to win now, then sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a win now move for sure.
Mm-hmm.
J2 nice. Need 2 wide receivers for the weekend. I got Jones, Sutton, or Julio Jones, Sutton, Marvin Jones, Jerry Judy, and Claypool. I think I'm leaning Marvin Jones here for sure. Then the next decision is really tough, man. I really want to like Judy, but
I like Sutton here.
I don't mind Sutton either. I mean, I've got Sutton against me, so I think I'm rooting against Sutton. But biases aside, I do think Sutton's probably the next best play here.
Judy is up next, right?
Sure.
I think you got to stay in the fire with Sutton, though, who is just literally been eating up insane amount of targets. And it's not like he's doing nothing with them. Like, he's been a great receiver for the Denver Broncos team.
And Washington's secondary
sucks. Yeah, sucks.
So that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. Yeah. I think we both agree Sutton and Jones. Oval 3R. What kind of running back could I get for Cordell Patterson?
And cheese.
Michael Pitts and Emmanuel Sanders in a 10-man half PPR. If you're going to trade all 3 of those guys, you can probably get a
lot of value there.
I would say almost any running back you want. Maybe outside of the top 5. But
Henderson would come to mind.
Henderson? Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, James Robinson, right? I mean, you probably don't even need to give up those 3 guys. If you're going to give up those 3 guys, I would argue you could get a guy like Jonathan Taylor or DeAndre Swift, quite frankly.
Sometimes those people, the owners of those sexy assets, like you just said, don't want to go off of them. So I think a Robinson or Henderson, a little bit less sexy, more willing. But yeah, I agree. You deserve a lot for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of value. So that, I would hate to see you undersell, right? Because I certainly think you could get, like, we alluded to a pretty valuable player overall.
Aaron Jones also comes to mind.
Yeah, Aaron Jones is probably at a good place in time in terms of been a little quiet, right? So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Let me know or let us know if you need any more clarification there. Ray0134, what is going on? Who do you think I should start for my wide receivers, Ridley or Mike Williams? I'll let Steven take that one.
Yeah, I'm a little scared about both these guys this week. I don't know. For some reason, I'm just still a little hesitant about Mike Williams. But that's who I'm going to pick here. I think that matchup against Carolina, I don't really know how that's going to turn out between that Falcons game and Falcons-Panthers game. But what I do know, and I said earlier, it's Patterson and Cheese and Kyle Pitts. That's what this Falcons offense is. Not really too sure I want to take a shot on a third option on this Falcons offense. I think I'd rather go with, when fully healthy, Mike Williams was like the best receiver in football.
Let's see here. And I agree with you. I agree with that pick. Ron the GOAT. Need a tight end because Waller is on bye. Best on waivers are Conklin, Tanyan, Dan Arnold, Viramuth, Uzma, and Logan Thomas. I don't think Logan Thomas is going to play this week, or else I'd pick him. But listen, part of me really, really likes Robert Tanyan this week with Devontae Adams not being in there, coming off of a big game. But talked about this last night. The Cardinals are the best team in the league against tight ends in fantasy football. So it scared me quite a bit because I like the red zone opportunities that I think Tanyan is going to get. But once again, the Cardinals are just so good against opposing tight ends fantasy that it scares me. But I would still put him in the conversation out of those guys. And then Uzma going up against the Jets, it's a pretty good matchup. I think I like Uzma this week as well. So for me, it's between those 2 guys. And Steven looks like he's got something on his brain, though.
Yeah, so little this is actually a little addition that I just really kind of put together on top of Tanyan, but MVS is also kind of questionable to play playing. Lazard's out, obviously. Adams is out, right? It kind of leaves Tanyan and then
Lazard is out?
Yeah, Lazard's out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a good situation right now the Green Bay Packers have. So, and MVS is not for certain, right? So the only guys to me that I see getting the ball that is playing receiver is like Randall Cobb, which obviously great mind meld with Aaron Rodgers could be a good situation, and Robert Tanyan, right? I don't see A-Rod getting his ass whooped beyond belief and not putting up at least a couple touchdowns. So
No.
we'll see how it totally plays out. But I'm going to take a shot on Robert Tonyan here.
I did not know that Lazard is out. Okay, I see that now. Yeah,
The
he's
Lizard
out.
King, he's out, yes.
Man, we talked a lot about it, Lazard
I
yesterday in
know.
general.
He was going
Yeah,
to cook, dude. He had a
yeah.
great opportunity. He was my top priority, actually, in the catch fam before the news came out.
Wow, that's big. In that case, I'd take a swing on Tanyan. I don't even
Mhm.
care about the rankings and
Yeah,
stats. You got it. I mean, just volume alone, he's worth a
yeah.
shot. Ray, let's see here. Jamar Chase, question mark. If you have Jamar Chase, he's in your lineup.
Mhm.
If you're considering him between Ridley, Williams, and himself, then Chase is your guy.
I'm repping his jersey, man. You already know you got to start him.
That's all you need
He's
to
a
know.
good man. He's a good man.
There you go. Ron the Goat. Do I drop Gaskin for Herbert Gainwell, Michael Carter, or Javante Williams?
Any of them?
Any of them are fine.
Yeah.
Any of those four guys. I mean, I think, unfortunately, I don't know. I think all these guys have pretty equal value because I actually think Gainwell is going to take the starting job in Philly.
Yeah.
And I still have faith Javante
Javante.
Williams is the RB1 there. And Michael Carter actually saw less targets this past week touches this past week than he did the week before. So that backfield's still a little murky to me, but I still think he's a fine selection. And I really, really like Herbert for the time being. But I don't know how that backfield changes when Montgomery and Cohen come in. So I like any of those guys. I mean,
Yeah. I
it's
don't like
very,
Gaskin. I don't like Gaskin, man.
yeah,
Can you ever be confident playing him? I
no,
don't think so.
no. And right when we thought we were going to be able to,
But do you have
and
1 point?
yeah, we advised starting him to get it off the game. So, yeah, any of those guys are good. I hope that's not a bad answer, Ron. But I think if you end up with any four of those guys, you have a better, more consistent player for the time being than Gaskin.
Yeah.
Christian, should I do Aaron Jones and Thielen for Swift and Saquon? I have Aaron and Thielen. I'd say yes. If you're not hurting at receiver position, you're getting a fair swap between Jones and Swift, and then you add RB depth down the stretch in Saquon. So for me, being an RB heavy guy, yes. I don't even
Yeah.
care about injury.
I would definitely want to see the receivers there because Thielen is going to be a good receiver rest of the season. Better than good, right? He's one of the better receivers in the league.
Yeah.
And Saquon, a lot of question marks about that guy. So definitely want to see the rest of the team before I prove that. But I get it. I get what you're going for there. And having Swift and Saquon in the playoffs could really make your team dangerous.
Dangerous, like Baker Mayfield.
Well, not recently.
Khalil Wallace, what's up, y'all? Start Pittman or Sanders / Patterson or Chuba. For me, that's tough between Pittman and Sanders, but I really like where
Hubbard.
Pittman is at this point in the season. Steven says Hubbard. What
do you think about that matchup, man, against Atlanta?
That's a fine start.
Still the RB1.
Yeah, and I think I'm leaning Pittman against Tennessee. Right? I mean, their secondary's still been bad, and the Colts, I think, are going to stay competitive in this football game.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Emmanuel Sanders.
We're going to win this game, baby.
There you go. Okay. I mean, that's the thing, though. Sanders versus the Dolphins is kind of a beautiful matchup.
I love Sanders this week. I feel like I'm stepping all over my toes for the wide receiver segment, but Sanders is a play. Pittman's a play.
Yeah.
The only reason why I look at those running backs there is if you're in a non-full PPR league, I just think Hubbard's got some good opportunities to fall into the end zone against this pretty crappy Falcons defense. So
I agree.
But I don't know.
But I like Patterson too. Those are tough calls. Those are tough calls. But I think either way, you're gonna have a great lineup, man.
Yeah.
Bryant, what's going on, man? Chase Brown, what is going on? Let's see here. Chase, you think I should try and trade away CMC, Hubbard, and Allen for Adams, Henderson, and James Robinson?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
As much as we like Christian McCaffrey,
time to sell your shares.
Yeah.
Time to sell your shares.
Adams, Henderson, and Robinson is legit. I think that may be too much, but obviously I win that trade. Yeah. If you can get that trade to go through, then yes.
Yeah.
FIFA Flow, what's up, John? What's up, man? Gasecki against a non-favorable matchup going against Bills, or do I start or look to stream one? I I don't know if there's gonna be many options out there that I like more. I mean, the Bills are good against opposing tight ends. Don't get me wrong, but Gasecki is that guy now. I mean, we can officially say Gasecki is that guy. He is tight end 3 on the year
Yeah,
right
he's a
now.
beast, dude. He's a beast.
He is the Gasecki that I drafted, right? The Gasecki that I've
Yeah.
rooted for all offseason, preseason. Listen, Buffalo's number 8 against opposing tight ends. I get it. But I think if the streaming options aren't great, which they're probably not, right?
Hmm.
I think Gasecki is worth the start unless you have a tight end that you're just fully confident in a better matchup. I do think Gasecki will still see the targets that we want him to see. So I'd probably still lean with Gasecki here.
There's two things that are in life for real, right? Cheese is recession proof because everybody loves cheese, and another thing that's for certain is Tua likes his tight ends, man. And Gasecki eats up targets, dude. I'm not scared off by Gasecki. I don't care what the matchup is, man. I think you could definitely play him against the Bills.
That was that was that was interesting. Tasha Carp. I have one spot to stash Uzma, Bolden, or Edwards. My depth across wide receiver, tight end, running back are pretty equal. Any thoughts? I would take a swing on Uzma there or Bolden.
Hmm.
Um, I don't mind Edwards, man. In full PPR, he's been fine. He's had some games where we talked about this earlier in the year. If he had not had his touchdowns called back, he would have been one of the top waiver priorities
Yeah.
through the first 3 weeks, no doubt. Um, and I don't mind Edwards at all, but I think Bolden is essentially replacing that James White role in New England. So I like him quite a bit. Only in full
Hmm.
PPR, though, of course. Outside of full PPR, he doesn't really have any value. But I don't mind Uzma either. So me being an RB guy, I'd probably put Bolden first, then Uzma, then Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really in love with any of these options to be honest, but I would probably lean Uzma actually because if you can see a tight end like him have two back-to-back weeks and is more and more involved with the offense, you could be looking at a tight end that is a guy you can start plugging into your lineups on a weekly basis. Let's
Yeah,
just see if he can do
absolutely. Richard Glass, think he should say, Steven, you were right all along, and I tip my hat to you. Yeah.
it.
Okay. I mean, if you go back and watch our NFC East season preview podcast, which I don't necessarily recommend
Dude,
using, using
dude.
your time to go back that far in the channel. But Steven called out Kenneth Gainwell, and hey, he may have got this one right. I mean,
Yeah.
I also called out Tua being amazing this season. So,
You did, man. And when healthy and when Deshaun Watson's not taking his job, he's been all right. He's been all
so
right. He won me a
yeah,
game. So
pretty
that's all I care
much,
about.
pretty much equal there in
Yeah.
terms of predictions. Cleo, so am I sitting Zach Moss, Chuba, and Edmonds for Kamara and CPAT? Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Kamara and Patterson and Cheese should be your first two options. And then I'd put probably Chuba, then Zach Moss and Edmonds. But I don't mind Zach Moss there as well.
Edmonds is last out of that for
He
me.
is.
I don't like him at all.
And if Steven doesn't like him,
I
don't
don't
put him in
like
your
him as a
lineup.
person. I don't. I'm off of him.
Um, let's see here. Richard Glass says, you aren't getting him. I am, just an FYI.
How are you getting him? You beat me week one. There's no way. I'm 0-2, man. I suck. I should have
Christian,
waiver priority unless the owner of the is the commissioner doing deals behind doors over here? What's going on,
now
John?
I got
What
to
do you
pull
do?
it up, of course, and make sure that
I'm getting this asset, Richard Glass. You can just count your pennies on that one.
I don't actually know how to pull it up. Richard Glass dropped the Saints defense.
Well,
What's
I
that
mean
supposed to mean?
they're playing the Bucks, dude.
Richard is number one waiver.
How? What? This is a Ponzi scheme.
You're number
What are you,
6.
Bernie? Are you Bernie Madoff? I'm sixth. I'm
Yeah.
0-2, dude.
It,
I'm
you've made
0-2.
it. It also has to do with how many waiver moves you make throughout the week.
I, all right, man. I get it.
Christian, should I do Aaron Jones and Thielen for Swift? Sorry, we already got that one right.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we did. Definitely not a fake. Herbert, Williams, Harris, Tony Gibson, Carter, Zach Moss, pick 3. I would say Darrell Williams, Damian Harris, and Khalil Herbert there.
I love
Yeah,
that name, by the way, too. But yeah, I like all the three of those guys as well.
yeah,
Definitely see Antonio Gibson as higher upside than he has been over the past few weeks. So Broncos defense, super sketch.
yeah. Johnson. Johnson took it to that Broncos defense last week. I mean, it's a short week,
That was like
but
the best running back performance I've ever seen in my
yeah,
life. I thought it was Herschel Walker out there.
it was. It's like,
Jim
uh,
Brown back in the day, just running through this team.
but if I don't mind throwing Gibson in there as well, but I mean, talked about uh, Khalil Herbert, Daryl Williams, and Damien Harris. I mean, Damien Harris for me is the must start out of all those guys, but I
Mhm.
don't mind Zach Moss. I'd say Carter is my least favorite, but uh,
Yeah.
if I had to pick three personally, I mean, you want to start Gibson, right?
You want to. You
But
want to,
it's
right?
just scary, man. He
I
scares me.
I think I'd probably go Damian Harris, Herbert, Herbert, Gibson, Moss, Williams, Carter.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Great question. Chase Brown, let's see here. Team is Allen, Z, Hubbard, Keenan Allen, Deontay, Pitts, Daryl, Rams, Prater, benches, Judy, Fant, CMCCH have 3 openings. My waiver is Gainwell, Tony Pollard, drop Rams for Bengals, and Bateman from first to last. Herbert still there.
Herbert's still there.
Ooh, I think I might go Gainwell, Herbert, Rams.
Really? You like
I mean,
Gainwell more than Herbert here?
yeah, I do.
I
Yeah.
don't. So we'll
Okay.
have a little bit of conflicting advice there. I just think that the
I,
running back is way more involved in the Bears offense than it is in the Eagles offense.
that
And
might be true.
especially with how bad Jalen Hurts. I mean, I can't emphasize that enough. He was so bad. I just don't see them being like, oh, hey, we should utilize him more. Justin Fields was awful.
I think you said Jalen Hurts.
I did. Well, they both suck.
I was like,
But
he
well,
does suck,
Jalen
but
Hurts,
he's still like
he
QB
sucks too.
one on the
He's
year.
still a
So
good fantasy quarterback. But yeah, no, Hurts.
that's
Oh
a
my
fair point.
gosh, Fields was terrible, god awful, trash.
It's a fair point. I
Yeah.
don't agree necessarily with what you're saying there. Let us know if that was helpful, Chase. I feel like we went a little back and forth there. Christian, I did DK for CMC 2 weeks ago. Now who do you think won? I'm 6-1. If you're 6-1, then I think you win. And you received CMC is the way I'm reading that. So I think down the stretch, that's perfectly fine. Ron the Goat, Zach Moss is also on waivers. I could get him. I think he's definitely worth putting into the waiver priorities as well.
He needs to be rostered.
He does. He needs it.
Necessary.
Damien, what is going on, man? By the way, everyone smash that like button, man. Let's try to get as many new viewers to the stream as possible. You guys are killing it, man. The Fantasy Q is great. We're trying to roll through this, man. We will have Steven's must start receivers starting at 9 p.m. sharp. So we'll try to get through as many questions before then. But thank you guys so much for coming out tonight, man. You guys are absolutely killing it. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing down below and becoming part of the Catch family. And let's keep smashing that like button. Look at Steven's face.
Man,
Hit the like button for him, man.
I just had some ham and bean soup, and I'm so excited. Yeah, so excited.
For what? It's over. You already ate it.
I'm coming for more later, brother.
There you go. Tavian, JJ Higgins and Jacobs for Ridley, Johnson, and Dalvin Cook. Who wins? That's a tough one. I think I'm leaning the Ridley, Johnson, and Cook side, though.
Yeah, it's not really too tough for me.
Okay.
I mean, I think you're trading Jacobs for Cook. Yeah, but you get Deontay Johnson, who absolutely
and Ridley's consistent. Sure.
Yeah, I think you're kind of winning there. I mean, obviously Justin Jefferson's the better receiver out of those other two guys, but I think consistency of getting back is amazing. Cook's upside is, second to maybe only one or two other guys in the league.
I agree. Richard Glass, 12 people watching, only 3 likes. Hit that like button, gentlemen. Appreciate that, Richard.
Richard, we love you. You're such a good guy, Rich. Nerd.
Good old Rich. We're changing it from Richard Glass, the gentleman, to good old Rich.
Actually, I'm interested, Richard. What do you think about the name Rich? That when people abbreviate it, some people don't like it, some people do like it. I want to know.
Okay, Steven wants to know. Wild Boy Treb, holding on to Kadarius Toney. I think he plays this week. Yeah, I don't mind holding on to him. I don't mind it at all.
I was going to put a bid on him in our waivers.
There you go. I mean, Steven wants him. Oz Omnipotent. Hope I said that right. James Landry for Jerry, or Jarvis Landry, not James, for Jerry Judy. Is that worth it?
It's omnipotent.
I think so. I mean, I think Landry right now, moving forward, is the wide receiver one on the Browns.
Yeah.
And I think Judy, to some degree, some weeks is probably going to play like a wide receiver one, but he still has Cortland Sutton right there. So
And
he's
St. Patrick
and Tim Patrick, sure, in the red zone, especially, right? So
and Noah Fant,
it's tough.
who's been very relevant this year.
So I guess we're going Jarvis Landry, which I don't mind. I really like Landry where he's at right now.
I do too. And I think especially when Baker comes back too, Baker and him have always had this like intense connection. So I like Jarvis for sure.
I do too. Snipus Apex, sorry. Well, I was looking at the Z's while I was trying to heard it. My wide receiver core is Mike Williams, Stephon Diggs, and Jamar Chase.
Wow.
Running backs are Saquon and Henderson. Should I make any moves? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
I'd be interested to know your record, but no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the only thing you could really do is with some of those other options that are on your team, maybe you try to wheeled and dealed for low RB2, high RB3 type of running back, just to have for depth, obviously because Saquon's shaky, but that team is stacked.
Yeah,
I love it.
Chase Brown, Ertz, or Tanyan for this week? Who?
That's tough, man. Ertz look good. Ertz look really good.
Yeah. I mean, I think doesn't it make more sense to go Tanyan here?
It does. No, for sure. I think I was just talking. I mean, I think Ertz had like 3 touchdown opportunities last week. He only got 1, but he had like 2 touches in the red zone where he could have scored. So Ertz rest of the season could be very good.
Sure.
But I like Tanya this week, just for the reasons John and I laid out. Lack of options elsewhere.
Yeah, more target opportunities for Tanyan than Ertz, but Ertz might have 3 targets that turn into 2 touchdowns. So it's like
right, yeah,
it's really hard. It's really hard. Chase, let us know in the chat, Chase, where your headspace is at with that one. Christian, I have Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and Robert Woods.
I like those
guys.
Then
I still think you're looking good with that 6-1 record, my guy. Kay Hayton, what's going on? Swift and Ridley for Jonathan Taylor and McLaurin.
Oh yeah, baby, yeah.
I don't mind it. I think McLaurin offers a little bit higher upside right now than Ridley, and Swift and JT is an even swap for sure. So I don't mind it. Simon for president, what's going on? Hey gang, Eli Mitchell and Jay Williams are available on the waiver, but no, they're most likely going to get picked up this week. Who would you guys try to pick first? Thanks.
Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I almost had him in my must start video. I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger, but he looked like a true RB1.
It was the exact same performance that Jonathan Taylor had. They if you look at their numbers, they were like exactly identical. He's a good back, man. Remember last week we were talking about him, and I was like, yeah, I'd be a little scared going up against Elijah Mitchell, dude, which you were because you were playing him, right? And he was running all over the place. Yeah.
And I love Javonte Williams, man. And I think if you don't end up getting Mitchell, Williams is certainly worth holding on to. He also had a good week last week, right? But Melvin Gordon also had a good week. So, like, I'm going back and forth there.
I'm scared of those guys.
I would put Mitchell first for sure. Wild Boy Trey, I want to drop Tim Patrick for Landry or Gage because Judy is coming back. I don't mind that. I don't want us to lose complete faith in Tim Patrick on the season. But for Landry, I think it's worth it. For Gage, I would not say so.
Yeah.
I think we both like Russell Gage to some degree. I had him in the waiver video yesterday. Don't get me wrong, but don't go chasing those points too crazily, right? Because he's going to be touchdown dependent, right? He had a great week back from injury, and I really believed in Russell Gage in the offseason, preseason. But Tim Patrick has been extremely consistent on the season, right? So just keep in mind some of these other factors. But for Landry, it's absolutely worth it. 100%.
Yeah, I would hate to get off of a guy like Tim Patrick, who's just been so consistent, for a guy like Russell Gage, who I just don't see a pathway to him being a consistent, sustainable receiver for your fantasy teams. So Jarvis Landry, on the other hand, he's going to be a wide receiver 1 for this team.
Sure. Ron the Goat, do I flex Beasley or Marvin Jones? Kind of want a piece of the Bills versus Miami matchup. Then I'd follow your conviction. I'd start Cole Beasley. Why not? Yeah. He's coming out. He had a great week before week 7. So why not? Christian, what wide receivers do you think I can get for CMC. My RBs are crazy good.
Let me pull this up.
And it looks like we lost the second part. Probably a pretty good wide receiver at this point in the season.
Yeah, I think you could definitely get somebody in the top 15. I mean, I would be looking at a guy like maybe even his teammate, DJ Moore. Take a shot at a guy like that. It's going to be hard to, I would imagine, crack into the top 10. But
Sure.
I think you could get a guy right outside the top 10 rankings probably pretty easily just because of that name value in Christian McCaffrey.
I absolutely agree. Stodfather, Gronkowski and Henderson for Pittman and Ayuk.
No.
No.
No, that's
No.
Whoa.
Unless you're the one receiving Gronk and Henderson, then no.
Yeah.
Keep Gronk and Henderson. Don't trade for Ayuk.
Someone's trying to rob you.
If your starting receivers are Tim Patrick and Russell Gage right now, maybe you consider this, right? If you're like me and Antonio Brown, Tim Patrick, and Henry Ruggs are your receivers, maybe you consider this. If you're stacked at tight end and running back, right? But outside of that, no way.
No shot in my
even in if I was in this position with my roster and you trade out Schultz for Gronk and James Robinson for Henderson, I wouldn't even consider this, right?
No.
Not at all. All right. 9:01. We're a minute late. We're going to hop into Steven's must-start wide receivers for Week 8. Quick little segment here. Steven's excited. Look at him. He's stretching out. He's got his Jamar Chase jersey on. So we will roll into Steven's must-start wide receivers, and we will hop back into the chat. So truly sorry if we did not get to everyone's comments yet. We always do our best, but we want to get through our segments for the night as well, and then we will hop right back into the chat and right back into fantasy Q&A to finish the night. So keep the chat rolling, guys. Have some fun while we go through the segment, and we will get right back to things as soon as Steven is finished.
Yeah, so I got a lot of options too. Maybe not as many as John did for the must-start running backs, but my first guys that I'm taking a look at here: Buffalo Bills against the Miami Dolphins. Taking my shots on basically all these receivers, but primarily I wanted to look at Stephon Diggs. I think this is a guy who 24th on the season right now coming into the week, but playing against that 30th ranked defense in Miami, I think him and Emmanuel Sanders are both going to shine out. This is going to be a game that is going to see a very out of hand type of game script where there's just bombs away. I see this definitely leaning into and I mean, we saw the last time they did play, right? Beasley, Sanders, and Diggs all supported 85 plus yards receiving. But Diggs and Sanders have been the guys that have just had the bigger fantasy performances.
Yep.
The week before the bye week, they played Tennessee. And I feel like that was Diggs' real game of coming out, right? He could have had even a better game too. So I don't know, man. I think Diggs is going to really start hitting his stride in the second half of the season. I've basically included him every single week in the must starts, and he hasn't really disappointed. So it's hard for me not to continue to add him especially because of this ranking, right? He's 24th on the season. It's so sketchy. I don't understand why he's still there. But this is a guy that I would recommend trading for. This is a guy that I would definitely put into your lineups and don't even think about it twice. He's still an absolute gem. And then, we talked about it earlier. They got Jacksonville up next too. He's going to be a stud there too, right? And this goes for the same way with Emmanuel Sanders. I think he's absolute beast as well this week.
Stephon Diggs only has 2 games on the season where he doesn't have 10 targets.
Yeah.
I
don't understand how it hasn't turned into like massive 20-point performances all over the board either.
His worst game was against Kansas City, which is stupid. His second worst game was against the Washington football team. I don't know either, but he's only had 1 game this year where he hasn't had a red zone target. In the last 3 weeks, he's had 8 red zone targets. So I love this pick. Love it. And I love Sanders as well. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the 2 games that he was able to get into the end zone was against Miami week 2, where they blew the doors off of them. I talked about it a little bit when going over the Bills defense, but we thought this Dolphins team was just at the time going through some rough patches, but I think we're now starting to see that this is a recurring theme and the Dolphins are just going to suck the rest of the season. So maybe until they get their guy Deshaun Watson, who I know they're in the hunt for, right? But up next, I got Chris Godwin. I've been relatively lucky at predicting the wild card of who was going to turn out well for this team, but
yeah,
Obviously, Antonio Brown banged up last week. We saw Chris Godwin come out here and have his best performance on the season, 21 points last week, 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. He led the team in receptions, targets. That was his work. Mike Evans, though, he did get the 3 touchdowns, right? So Mike Evans was the darling of this Tampa Bay's offense, which the real darling was that defense, which kept celebrating. That dance was badass, by the way. But
Was.
yeah, that was really sick. But I think Chris Godwin, even if AB is back fully ready to go, I think he's still questionable, but I would imagine he's going to play. I have less hope for a guy like Rob Gronkowski, but I think Chris Godwin continues to be the guy here. Sees a high target share, sees the bulk of the catches for this offense. And another thing too is the interesting matchup that I'm going to have my eyes peeled on is because it's always so much fun when these guys play, but Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans, right? This is
Mhm.
always, popcorn type of matchup right here,
Oh
fighting
yeah.
all over the place. But Marshawn Lattimore has had success against Mike Evans in the past, right? So I think Mike Evans, this is probably not going to be the game where he absolutely balls. In fact, we often see Mike Evans cook when they're playing shitty teams, like the Chicago Bears, for example, right? I think the Saints defense is pretty good, especially Marshawn Lattimore. So I think it's going to be Chris Godwin or AB here, but AB coming off the injury, it makes me lean a guy like Chris Godwin here.
Don't you hate on my guy AB, Stephen?
I'm
I
not
don't
hating
need
on
that.
him, bro. You know I love AB. You know I
I don't
love
need
big
that.
chest. You know I love big
I
chest.
don't need that. But listen, first of all, I love that matchup between Lattimore and DK Metcalf last night. But uh, second of all, last 3 games, Godwin has had at least 2 games with 11 targets. Okay. And in the last 3 games, we just talked about Stephon Diggs having 8 red zone targets in the last 3 games. Chris Godwin has 9 in the last 3 games.
Mhm.
So, uh, and think about it. He's got 9 red zone targets with,
From Tom Brady.
yeah, and not just Tom Brady, but with how many other players on that team, even with, Brown being banged up, with Gronk being banged up. Just look at how many players they can throw the football to on a weekly basis. So, love the pick. I love where Chris Godwin is at on the season. He's not having a bad season by any means, even if he's not in the top 10, receivers, right? He's still in the top 15, though. So, nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
man.
I think Chris Godwin, what we're going to see out of him is he's probably going to be the safest receiver out of these options, right?
Sure.
Rest of the season. I think AB is the guy who, I mean, he's randomly missing games. He's been injured. Sometimes he
I don't
gets
need
totally
that, Stephen.
funneled out of the game plan. But Mike Evans is totally touchdown dependent. Whereas, like a bad game for Chris Godwin, he's going to see a ton of targets still, and he's probably going to get you 6 to 8 points. But
Yeah.
I think he's going to stay in the fire here. I think he has another good game. But another good guy who I think is going to stay in the fire and absolutely just made my must-start conviction last week's, just bring truth, right? AJB, man.
Yeah.
AJ Brown cooked last week.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that touchdown he had last week where he just jumped up, back of the end zone, cornered it? I mean, he looks just as good as advertised. This is why people were jumping out there in their fantasy drafts and taking him with,
Hmm.
I mean, this guy last year wasn't even seeing that many targets and he was still cooking, but he had 130 yards receiving and a touchdown this week on 9 targets, right? We
Yeah.
thought it was going to happen because he's a great matchup, but he's got a pretty good matchup this week again against Indianapolis, the 23rd worst defense against fantasy receivers. I think this is going to be a good game. I don't really know who's going to win this game. I think it's going to be very competitive. But all I do know is that the Colts are going to come out here and they're going to sell out for Derrick Henry. I think AJB, it doesn't even matter. Like, he's so much bigger than all the corners on this Colts team. I see a ton of opportunity here. Julian Blackman, our best safety, just went down with an Achilles injury. I think he would have been picked apart even more last week against San Francisco if it wasn't for that rainstorm. So I think Tennessee comes out here and they really exploit the back end on this Colts defense.
I love this pick. And I think you don't even have to really look at the stats. I mean, they're good, right? They're
Yeah.
there. But just ride this momentum, right?
Oh,
Of,
yeah.
Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans offense getting this crucial piece to their offense back fully healthy. And I can guarantee you that Tannehill is going to continue to go back to AJ Brown on a consistent basis in a competitive divisional game that the Titans need to win, right? They're
Hmm.
moving forward in the right direction on this season, but getting a divisional win right now would be even bigger for the Titans coming off of 2
It's a massive game.
massive wins, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills and the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
And
This
now
is
they're
nuts.
this is where they even cement that further that they are the best team in this division, right? And they need to keep winning football games, and they need to do it against divisional opponents as well.
Yeah, and Colts are really hot as well right now, and I think that matters because this isn't going to be a game where Tennessee just chokeholds them and holds it the entire game. I think it's going to be very competitive at the very end. Obviously, when Tennessee and Indy played earlier this season, it was completely different. Carson was totally banged up, and they were able to get like a two-digit or touchdown lead and just kind of ride it out. But I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think Ryan Tannehill is going to have to step up, and I think that directly impacts AJB.
Love it.
Another guy who is related to AJB, not blood related, but played in college with him, DK Metcalf. I want to stay in the flames on this after last week. And really, when you look at it since Geno's taken over, he hasn't been terrible, right? We were very concerned about that Pittsburgh matchup. What was he going to do? He had 8.8 points in a half PPR setting. It wasn't really amazing, but it was a really tough matchup. And I think I was a little bit impressed, right? I thought it was going to be worse. Tyler Lockett certainly was, right? But then he's got another tough matchup, right? Going up against the New Orleans Saints and Marshawn Lattimore. I texted you before the game, and I was like, I'm not concerned at all about DK Metcalf. Lattimore's going to shut him down. The weather was totally crappy. And man, what happens? DK Metcalf runs for like a freaking 80-yard reception in the beginning of the game, which is a major reason why he had those 16 points in fantasy last week. So
Sure.
I don't want to totally read into that. I feel like a little bit of me recommending him, it's a little bit baked in that play was just a massive part of his success. I mean, he had 2 catches on 5 targets, right? So that's a little concerning. But the one thing that I do see as a positive momentum going forward is Geno and him do seem to have some sort of chemistry when they pass the ball in Seattle, going up against Jacksonville, which is the 24th worst defense in fantasy football against receivers. Totally different game. This is the first game Geno is going to actually be in a good spot to play against a defense. And also with that said too, man, Geno hasn't played god awful, right? He hasn't been atrocious. I can think of other quarterbacks in the NFL who have played worse than Geno so far this year. Zach Wilson being one of them.
There you go. It's interesting, because you look at a guy like DK Metcalf, and a lot of people say, well, he doesn't have that crazy touchdown play, and this is a bad stat line. We don't want to start him. But we rely on a receiver like DK Metcalf because he makes those type of plays. I think that's why you're starting him. Yeah. That's why his stat line is good. You could put 5 other receivers in that position, and I don't think they would have made that same play.
No. Dude, and what he did to that man, he made him a child.
Yeah. You can tell Marshawn Lattimore was bothered after that play. And he actually played quite well throughout the rest of that game. But you could tell he was bothered after that play. And I would be too. I just want to put this out there too, guys. In the off season, I got a lot of hate.
My gosh.
I got a lot of hate for my love for DK Metcalf. Okay. Some of the names that I was getting torched about for picking DK Metcalf before. Calvin Ridley, number 43 on the year. Okay. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Number 43. Gary Terry. I love all these guys, right? Number 12 on the season right now. Okay. CeeDee Lamb, number 14. Okay. DeAndre Hopkins, number 10.
Nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah. DK Metcalf, number 8. Okay. Put that out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Diggs, number 3.
Diggs, number 24. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Nuts. But
didn't want to interrupt your segment there.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Pad your shoulder a little bit more. Do you want to pack on the back right there?
It's early in the season. We're only halfway through, basically.
Hey man, a guy I would love to get a pat on the back from. It sounds a little odd, but CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. Oh my gosh, man. I mean, just let's flash back a couple weeks. We're about to do the Catch Fam League, and all the murmurs and concerns are about CeeDee Lamb's stats and how he's been kind of a failure, kind of a bust. He's all over the trade blocks, right? And then what's he been doing? Past 2 weeks, been killing it. 16.8 points against the Giants, where he just balls out, right? Gets a touchdown, and then he follows that up against New England, where he was all over the place. 11 targets, 9 catches, 150 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah. I mean, he is now that guy. He is that guy now. CeeDee Lamb is becoming the number 1 threat for sure for this Dallas Cowboys offense. And Dak Prescott's hitting him with he's going to him first. He's not even looking to Amari Cooper first anymore. And then he's going up against this Minnesota Vikings team, which I mean, they're 15th on the league or on the season right now against receivers. That's not really what I'm talking about, right? What I'm talking about is the matchup here. I think this is going to be a shootout type of game. That is where I think this is a high over under type of game. I think both offenses can put up a shit ton of points, right? But I love CeeDee Lamb here. I don't know. I would be hard pressed. I don't think you would disagree with this pick. That's for damn sure.
No, no. I don't even
Yeah.
really have anything to say other than yes, I agree with you. Start CD Lamb.
And then we got to talk about what he's going to be over the next few weeks, right? You got Denver, right? Fraudulent defense, we've said it. Atlanta,
Nah,
Kansas City, Las Vegas. I mean, those are beautiful matchups. Denver probably the hardest one, right? They
I
do
like
decent.
Certain.
Yeah, and they do decent because of Surtain against the number one threat. But outside of that, right, you've got some very tasty matchups, right?
How is Las Vegas number 4 in the league against opposing receivers?
I don't know. I don't know, but I will say this: the Raiders are a very weird team this year, and they could win again this week. Or no bye week, right? So they already won, right? But when they come back, this Raiders team, I mean, they're one of the best teams in football right now. So
They're a problem for the Chiefs, I'll tell you that much.
yeah, they're going to get at least one game against the Chiefs. That's for damn
Yeah,
sure. But
yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, definitely you can put him in your lineups. And I already saw some questions in the chat about him. So that is my full confidence in him. Another guy that I have absolute confidence in on a weekly basis just because he's so consistent, Mr. Deontay Johnson for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last week, I took a shot on Chase Claypool because I said that I would always pick Deontay Johnson, but I wanted to do something different. Well, that's why I don't do anything different. And that's why Ben Roethlisberger doesn't do anything different, right?
Yeah.
Because the only thing that works on the Steelers offense in terms of receivers right now is Deontay Johnson. That's the
Yeah.
only person. Juju Smith gets injured, right? Chase Claypool is obviously an amazing talent, elite skill set, but he's just not doing it this season, right? And
Mhm.
last year he was even inconsistent, right? So Deontay Johnson, he is on pace to like blow out of the park his reception total because he's already, I mean, what last year he was on 164 target total. He's already above that now. I think he's getting closer to like 170 or something. But last week, 13 targets, 9 catches, 71 yards. Like that is just what you're going to get on a weekly basis out of this guy. And going up against Cleveland, I think there's an opportunity here where he could see a touchdown at least, or at least yak up a ton of yards.
Yak him up.
Yak him up,
Uh,
baby.
he's only had one game this year where he played where he had less than 14 fantasy points. And in
Yeah.
that game, he had 12 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Like,
I would
uh,
love that.
extremely consistent. Yeah. I would love to have him on my team too. If anyone out there is listening, you want to trade me Deontay Johnson, I'll take him.
I've made offers on people, man. The
Yeah.
people don't like to get rid of him because he is just somebody that you don't even have to think about in your lineups, which is
Yeah.
it's hard to do. I mean, even guys like Chris Godwin and CeeDee Lamb, who we've talked about, you can't say the same for them on the season, right?
Sure.
But I will say somebody that has been doing that over the past few weeks and has had performances very similar to a guy like Deontay Johnson, Mr. Robert Woods.
Yeah.
He's been very nice over these past few weeks, right?
Oh, yeah.
12, 10, 21, and 12.8 the weeks leading up to this one. Obviously, against Detroit, we thought maybe there's a situation where, the bombs away approach is going to lead into Robert Woods getting a touchdown or something. Just turned out Cooper Kupp got it all, right? I will say, I think this is another situation where you can just play the matchup and
Yeah.
potentially Robert Woods gets a touchdown, which elevates him from a 12 to 13 point game to a 20-point game. But I really see that as being the range you got, right? So you got a very consistent floor being around above 10 points, but the roof is very high with a guy
Yeah.
like Robert Woods just because of this matchup and this offense.
Absolutely agree. And he still had 2 red zone targets last week
Yeah.
against the Lions. So it's there. And I love what you just said. Yeah. The floor every week for me, looking at Robert Woods, is about 10 points, but the ceiling is 20 points easily, right?
Yeah.
And Cup is just, he's crazy this year, right?
He's
But
nuts.
Robert Woods is still quite good. He's not
Yeah.
he's not where Cooper Cup is, but he's still really damn good. So I love the pick. I really do.
Yeah, not even Jerry Rice was on the level that Cooper Kupp was on. So I mean, Cooper Kupp's playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah.
So let's cut Robert Woods a little bit of slack because you know he's still playing good, right? And I think this is a good opportunity again to put him in your lineups, especially at that flex spot, right? And feel pretty confident about him.
Yeah.
But another guy, man, on the Colts, great matchup, Michael Pittman. A lot of talk already about this guy. Last week I had him in here as a must-start player. He
Good
had
call.
balled out, man. I was a little scared, right? Because he was kind of struggling to move things out of the road. Obviously, that weather was nuts, right? Only got
Yeah.
4 targets last week, caught them all, but had that awesome touchdown at the end of the game, which kind of padded the stats a little bit, made him have a good performance. 18 points, right? Week before that against Houston, which would have been a very tasty matchup. Ideally, it was only 4 points, but what we saw in that game was that they just kind of ran the ball out. But the week before that against Baltimore, where they were actively trying to move the ball down the field, he saw 17.8 points in that game, right? So I think the biggest concern for Michael Pittman here isn't the matchup, right? Because that's obviously tasty. Isn't the consistency he's going to see from Carson Wentz, because I think Carson Wentz has also proven that he is now to be that kind of quarterback where you can count on him on a weekly basis, right? I really hope I don't eat my words by saying that. But this Colts team is also hitting their stride too. So a lot of factors going in Michael Pittman's favor. But I think the biggest thing that can maybe eat away from his touches here is T.Y. Hilton, right? I think T.Y. Hilton coming back in, being healthy is a potential concern, right? Because T.Y. Hilton really steps up for these big games, and this game is critical, right? But still think Pittman, he's the number one read in this offense. You can definitely put him in your flex, maybe a wide receiver 2 spot here, and feel pretty damn confident about it.
I like the pick. Yeah. It's the best matchup he's had since week 3 when he went up against Tennessee Titans.
Yep.
So I love it. Isn't it crazy that Houston's number 6 on the season against opposing wide receivers, but we're still like, it's a good matchup.
Dude, I honestly think it's just because teams are just running the ball because they're up.
Yeah, no,
Which is very, it could be. I mean, I think that was the case
and I
for
mean,
when Indy
the Jets are number 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean,
crazy.
Well, the Colts are playing the Jets in Jacksonville as the next 2 weeks after that, right? So, just as a Colts fan, you want to see him get this win because then we can maybe ride the next couple games too. But also as a Michael Pittman owner, you definitely like what you could get out of Pittman over the next 3 weeks, right? Definitely a lot of positivity coming there. And this last guy in the AFC South as well, you mentioned him earlier, Marvin Jones, fresh off the bye week. Trevor Lawrence is kind of main guy here. Laviska Shenault, I think he's lost a lot of trust in this offense. He's been dropping passes left and right, really fallen off the wagon, has not been, okay, well, he's not like an alcoholic, but he has not been playing well, right? So Marvin Jones in the opposite end had 19 points right before the bye week playing against Miami, had 7 receptions on 10 targets for 100 yards and a touchdown. Marvin Jones is a damn good receiver, right? Especially when he's given those targets. Trevor Lawrence is also starting to play better week over week, going up against a favorable matchup against Seattle, right? Only 13th on the season against passing offenses, but that's it too. I think a lot of that is helped by the fact that Seattle played Jameis Winston, who was absolute dog trash ass and was just running the ball to Alvin Kamara every play or throwing it to Alvin Kamara. And so, I think this is definitely a very tasty matchup for Marvin Jones and Trevor Lawrence here.
I like it. Yeah, I like this pick a lot.
Yeah.
Coming off his best game of the season in week 6, then obviously the bye week in week 7. I love this pick. Absolutely love it.
And another awesome thing about this one, maybe Michael Pittman, but especially here, is Marvin Jones, 36 on the season, right? This is a guy that could be on your waivers just because they are coming off the bye week. He's on the Jags, a little bit of a stink to his name because of that. I think if he is on your waivers, like you need to put like some pretty high priority getting him, right? Because this is a good receiver. He's had some bad weeks leading up before the bye week as well, but I definitely would go out and snag him. I would think he needs to be rostered.
Yeah. Absolutely agree.
Yeah, and amen. With that said, that is the must-start receivers, baby. We got a lot of good receivers, got a lot of good running backs. I'm glad to have a lot of those stud fantasy football teams back in action. I'll gladly have the Raiders on bye week if that means we get the Bills and the Chargers and the Cowboys back.
I wish the Ravens weren't on bye week. I'll say that much.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks.
I do want to mention, you had that nice stretch for the Colts you talked about, weeks 8 through 10.
I get it. We got the Bills on next.
And then the Bucks.
It's all right. We're better than the Bucks because like the thing is like Carson Wentz, greater sign, Tom Brady and Josh Allen. Okay.
I just want to make sure you knew that. All right. Perfect question to get into as we come off the must start wide receivers for the week. Great job, Steven. Everyone clapping hand emojis for Steven in the chat. There we go. Let's see here. Juice, Jamar Chase, Scary Terry, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley, pick 3 to start in week 8.
What's the timestamp on this?
8:49 p.m.
All right, baby. All right. Jamar Chase, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley, pick 3 to start week 8. We're going Jamar Chase, baby. That is for sure. And then I'm going to go DK Metcalf, and hate me for it, but I'm going to go Mr. Calvin Ridley here.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think. What are you leaning,
I
Terry?
was leaning scary Terry there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
What
know.
if Gilmore's out there? Are we scared of Stephon Gilmore? That's a question on the season. Are we going to find out?
Yeah, yeah,
We'll find out, right?
yeah. I think we'll know. I wouldn't be as scared of him his first game, right? I'd be scared of him a couple weeks from now, but I think right now you could still kind of go against that Panthers defense. But yeah, that's a good point, man. We need to start factoring that in.
I think either way, Juice, your lineup's okay.
Yeah, especially if you have those two other guys in there.
Yeah, but definitely I'd say DK and Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Khalil, who's going to put up more points? Kyler Murray or Josh Allen? I just feel like the Bills game will turn into a ground game in the second half versus a potential shootout with the Cards.
That's
I
some
think
advanced. That's some advanced analysis right there.
it's good analysis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's some advanced analysis.
And I mean, as much as I like the Packers defense and the Cardinals defense, on these short weeks, we don't see as much defenses show up, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes we have these weird anomalies where the defense shows up, the offense doesn't show up, but
Mhm.
generally it's the defense that doesn't show up. For me, I think I'm leaning Josh Allen. But I'm not going to argue against Kyler Murray, you know?
I mean, no, I kind of think it is going to be Josh Allen here, and I totally get what you're getting at right there. Do they run the ball more? Yeah, maybe, right? But I still think Josh Allen's got the chance to get 3 touchdowns. Maybe he runs the ball in for a touchdown too. So, not as much concerned about that because I think this is a game coming off the bye week where the Bills might score like 30 to 40 points. And it's not really an exaggeration. That's just the kind of offense that these Bills do have. We're on the opposite end. I mean, with Green Bay losing receivers, I think the highest strategy type of move the Packers do have here is to not just come out here and try to go guns a-blazing with this Kyler-led offense. It's actually to control the clock and run it to Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. That seems to me to be the best way to win this game is keep the ball out of the Cardinals offense, which is going to drain the clock and drain opportunities for Kyler.
I agree. Chase Brown. I could lean Herbert as first priority, then try Gainwell. Doubt I get Gainwell, but I don't think people will pick up Pollard. Yeah, I like that. I like that move there, Chase. G, what's going on, man? I got to pick 2, Deontay, Keenan, and Terry this week.
Deontay for sure.
Deontay for sure.
I got to go Keenan here. I don't know, man. Dude, something about Terry McLaurin. Maybe it's just Taylor Heineke's lack of success recently, which I will say to defend Taylor. Last week in the red zone, Mr. Terry Scary dropped a touchdown pass that was right in his face. So they should have had another touchdown against the Green Bay Packers defense. But I don't know, man. I think this Broncos defense, they're bad, but I think that they're going to be able to stop Terry McLaurin a little bit.
You heard it from the receiver man himself. Don't blame me. Blame Steven. It goes south. Oz, thanks for the input. Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming out to the stream tonight. Everyone, appreciate all you guys coming out. Thanks for sitting through the must-start running back and wide receiver segments. Hope you guys got something good out of that. And yeah, appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button down below and become part of the Catch fam tonight. But truly, truly appreciate everyone coming out and chilling for a bit.
Love it.
Ewake, what's going on? How's your day been? My day's been great. I'm tired today. I'm tired. How's your day, Steven?
I'm tired too, but I mean, I don't know if I need to reiterate myself, man. I had ham and bean soup, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is good stuff. And I haven't seen any comments about food choices tonight. I definitely want to see that in there. And also, man, we haven't talked about it, John. I talked about it a little bit on my defense video, but Halloween's around the corner, baby. Candies, movies, costumes. I want to hear about that too in the comments.
There you go. Steven wants to know what you guys ate for dinner tonight, what candy you're eating on Halloween, what movie you're watching on Halloween, and what you're dressing up for in Halloween. So there you go. Chase, I'm thinking Tanya and I have followers. It's only for a week. I don't mind that move at all, Chase. I like it. Justin, Mixon, AJ Brown, Deontay, full PPR, need 2 here. Ooh, I like Mixon a lot this week, but we both like AJ Brown and Dion. These guys were literally three of the main guys we talked about tonight in our segments. So, who full PPR? Maybe you lean AJ Brown Deontay here. Tough.
Yeah, honestly, that full PPR kind of makes me lean Deontay and Mixon, to be honest. If this was just a half PPR, though, I'd go AJB because I think his touchdown upside is huge. I don't know, man. It is tough, though, because AJB is an absolute killer right now.
Yeah.
I'd want to stay in the Flames. You know what? Yeah, take back what I just said. Stay in the Flames on AJB and put in Mixon because I think he's going to have a big ass game against this Jets team.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have for sure. Chase Brown, start Rams or Cowboys defense this week. I'll keep Cowboys I kept Cowboys defense last week, so I feel like I should start him. I like both these teams this week.
Do you? Cowboys against Vikings, man. I don't love it.
Yeah. The interesting thing at the Cowboys is they've had these games where they've given up, 20 points or so, and they've still come out with 8 to 10 fantasy points. So, I mean, I do feel like maybe the Rams are the better start for the week, though.
Yeah, rest of the season for sure is Dallas Cowboys here. Rams were super disappointing, but you got to play the matchup. Houston Texans, Minnesota Vikings. I'm taking that matchup, and I think that, dude, there was a lot of heat on this LA Rams defense last week because of how much they let up against the Detroit Lions. I think they come back hungry, man, because they played like some serious ass against Detroit.
Yeah, I agree. I think you roll with the Rams here. Yeah, but that's tough because I don't know if you necessarily drop the Cowboys, right? But you definitely can roll with the Rams with confidence. Andrea, who to add? Some Majay Pirine or Herbert half PPR? I'd lean Herbert, but I like Pirine. I do. The problem is you're counting on garbage time or injury, right? Pirine's looked very good in relief of Joe Mixon, but at the moment, to help you win right now, I'd lean Cleo Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert for me as well.
Beruzen, should I trade Darrell Henderson, Antonio Browns for Saquon and Cooks? I think it's intriguing, but I say no.
Yeah, I get the intrigue for Saquon's name there, but Henderson and AB, both you and I love both these guys the rest of the season.
AB is going to offer you a higher ceiling than Cooks. Henderson probably going to be more consistent than Saquon with injuries factored in, right? Saquon, if you got him, I give you a higher ceiling at the running back position. But in terms of consistency, Henderson's been so good this year, right? And AB's been just fine. So I think you stay away from it. Tamian, hey, I have to tell you more about the trade from earlier. JJ Higgins and Jacobs for Ridley, Johnson, and Dalvin Cook. I have Eckler, Kamara, Henderson, Hill, Lamb, AB, AJ Brown. Don't need quarterback tight end. JJ is my wide receiver 2 right now. Is it worth the trade? This guy just wants JJ.
Team is stacked, by the way.
Stacked team. I think that's a fine trade because now you're getting Deontay Johnson as your wide receiver 2. Gosh, so yes, do the trade. Look at your team.
Totally makes sense. It doesn't even need analysis, man. The trade works and your team works.
Yeah. That's a good trade. I would still take it. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have Hill, Lamb, AB, AJ Brown, and Deontay Johnson and Ridley.
So basically, all the must starts.
Yeah. And then your running backs are going to be Eckler, Cook, Kamara, Henderson. Yeah, you're fine. Do the trade. I think there's more upside for you there, man. Juke, when do you think Gallup will find his footing again after coming off IR? I would guess within the first week or 2.
Yeah, I would say the second week. But
I don't think he's going to get a crazy amount of targets right off the bat, but that's just kind of how this offense works, right? It's like the Cardinals. It's like the Bucks, right? A lot of firepower, a lot of mouths to feed,
But they've been able to feed them all so far.
Yeah, probably pretty soon though. Dak loves Michael Gallup. Gallup in a contract year, he's out to prove himself coming back from this injury. I can tell you that much. Chase, you guys think I can trust Wentz till Russ is back? Yes, but I think we're both hesitant, especially Steven being a Colts fan, right? I think we're both hesitant, but yes, I mean, there's only about 2 more weeks, right? Week 8, week 9. So I think yes. I think yes.
I
And
think you
like,
can definitely ride him the next 2 weeks, but you obviously,
yeah,
like we were saying, Bills,
yeah.
Bucks after that, I think you need to switch to a streaming approach at that point, but I think Carson Wentz is somebody you can definitely take your shot on over the next couple weeks.
I'm trying to take my shot on him in our league. I'm a little worried because
You are.
I got
You
Lamar
are.
on bye week. Yeah.
Carson, baby. Okay. I like it.
But I'm also considering not putting in a waiver for him, deleting it, because I think a couple of these, streamable quarterbacks from week 7 are gonna get dropped. And then I'm like, am I
I'm dropping
risking?
Tua if you want him.
I don't think I want Tua though. I know. I know. It's
You're not
it's a
gonna go
bad
with your
matchup.
guy here?
Not this week. No. Not against the Bills. Uh, Chase, I traded Hunt for Pitts week 3. It's worked out well. There you go. Mr. Lazard and Adams both on COVID list. But wow, both on the COVID list. Both out tomorrow. Pick up Cobb or St. Brown or do pack run heavy thoughts. If you're gonna pick up one of these guys, it's Cobb or Tanyan. Um, but I do think the Packers probably run the football quite a bit. But I also think Aaron Jones is going to hold back from wanting to throw the football. So
I think if Cobb's gonna have a big game, this could be the game he does it. It could be a maybe not as good of a performance that he had against Cincinnati. I believe that was a game where he blew up, but I think Randall Cobb's got a game stripped in his favor here. I don't know.
it's tough. But yeah, I think Cobb or Tanyan. I'd stay away from St. Brown. VCG, what's going on? Smart you trade Brandon Cooks for Daryl Williams. If you're hurting at the RB position bad enough, you need to win now, then sure, but it's a short term play, right? CH only going to be out for what, 2 more weeks?
Yeah, but when he does come back, I still think Williams actually is going to probably see the bulk of the carries, but it's going to be a split committee. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
think what you're saying. And the one thing about Cooks, man, a lot of people, I don't know if they're factoring that in, right? Tyrod Taylor could be coming back. When Tyrod's there, this Texans team is actually pretty good, which
Yeah.
is pretty funny to say. But Tyrod's coming around the corner, and when he does play, I think Brandon Cooks' stock is going to rise.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. If you're hurting now at running back, then I think you do it. If not, I think you hold on to Brandon Cooks. Mr. Hey, do you think Dax Calf they lean on run against Houston number 4 against pass, having trouble deciding between Woods or Lamb? Um, I think we both like both of these guys. Both and Stevens must start for the week. I think Lamb probably still offers a higher upside. I mean, Dak is one of these players who can play through these injuries and not really have any issues. So I think I'm leaning Lamb here, but I really like Woods as well.
Yeah, that cap injury is a concern for me, and I definitely factored that in when thinking about CD Lamb. That was really the only reason I debated not including him. That injury is pretty serious. It's not something I would ever want to see any player have on their injury designation on a week-to-week basis. But I think at quarterback, it's a little bit better, right? If anything, it probably means that Dak's not going to be doing any bootlegs or scramble plays. I think you could stay with CeeDee Lamb here and be pretty happy about it. Like you said, the upside is just way higher than Robert Woods.
I agree. Let's see here. Lost my spot.
923, Troy Smith.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Hat Pits. Goddard is on my bench. What is his trade value?
I like it.
I don't think it's bad by any means. Yeah, I think it's pretty good value, but you're gonna have to probably look at a team that is in need of a tight end, right? Maybe he has George Kittle. Maybe he has been kind of bouncing around between some waiver wire options. Maybe it's somebody who's Darren Waller or Mark Andrews on bye week this week, and is in a win now mentality. So I think it's going to depend on your league, but I definitely think you can get a pretty good value out of Goddard. I mean, you should be able to get a lower end wide receiver 1, a high end wide receiver 2, or a higher end wide or running back 2 for Goddard. I think you can get pretty good value if it's the right team.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that is a key element of a trade with Goddard. But I think also when you see those like tight ends 6 to 12 plus, right? You really got to look at those kind of trade opportunities as a package deal. I think you're going to have to put Goddard and some other chip into place to get him off your team and onto somebody else's to get a better asset, right? And I like that move too because I think Kyle Pitts, he's about to be in a spot where you cannot bench him. I mean, he is the real deal. He is the number 1 threat on this Falcons offense.
They don't call him the armpit for no reason.
Armpits are sweaty in Atlanta.
Cash Stylus. Yo, guys, I have a lot of good wide receivers: Cup, Keenan, D Hop, Julio, Judy, Odell, and Tony. I have Aaron Jones and could trade Odell for AJ Dillon. Should I do it?
I hate Odell.
I'd say yes, just because you own that handcuff situation moving forward. You own any garbage time points out of AJ Dillon moving forward. It's gonna be rough to start Jones and Dillon in the same week, but I'd say yes. I think it's better value than Odell at this point in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if you need to look at AJ Dillon as somebody that you would ever maybe double up with Aaron Jones, but I think having a handcuff to that Packers offense, you're always going to get a RB1 type of capable back.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, let's just be real. Like Odell sucks. Like he sucks. Can you back me up on that? Like
Oh,
I need to hear. I need to
honestly.
hear some support here. Like,
Hey,
did you watch that game
yes,
against
yes,
Denver?
yes. It
He
was
was
bad.
awful. Like
It
he
was bad.
dropped every pass.
Yeah, it was bad.
And it's like, all right, like I understand, like I'm coming at him right now. I've got heat on him. Not that he cares. The guy's a multimillionaire and super celebrity, right? But like, if we could change his name to anybody else, this guy would be completely irrelevant. Because I mean, at a certain point, when you just don't play football for a certain amount of time, you just lose your pizzazz.
Have you seen his hair?
Yeah, I've seen his hair. It's pretty
His
cool.
hair's cool, man.
It's
So I
super
don't know
cool.
if I agree with you
I
there.
will say, like 80% of that analysis was baked into the fact that I'm jealous of Odell Beckham, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he sucks.
Uh, he's been bad on the season. That was one thing I took away from that game was
He sucked. Yeah.
it was bad.
Yeah.
But him and Jarvis Landry are boys, so yeah, they'll hang out on the same team for a while. Some claps for Steven. There you go, Mr.
Thank you.
Mr. Andrea Juke. I'll give you some claps.
Can we just take a quick detour real quick? I'm sorry. Now that Odell was brought up, I got to bring this up, right? So I saw it like on First Take, and I'd see like a couple times they were like, "Oh, Odell Beckham's and the Green Bay Packers. They win the Super Bowl tomorrow." I think Stephen A. Smith said that. That is absurd to me. Like, what is this? I'm sorry. Like, I just have to go on a little side tangent.
Yeah, well, shows like that are built off of making
I get
awful
it.
takes so that people
Like
watch
me.
the show and get angry and share a link and click, and it's just an endless cycle.
Yeah.
I doubt they think that. I don't.
I hope not. I hope not, man.
They just want to give people like you small heart attacks and
See Odell
yeah.
be in the chat right now and be like, dude, I was totally gonna subscribe.
Let's
Screw
gonna
this.
sponsor this channel.
Yeah.
Charity randomly picked the first YouTube podcast, NFL in it, and yeah, screw you guys. Chase Fulner, Terry or Patterson and PPR. Ooh, ooh,
I like
that's
Patterson.
tough. I like Patterson, but yeah, I like Patterson. He's in my must start segment. So I'm leaning Patterson there. Chosen Rose, hey guys, I just traded Ertz and Corey Davis for AB. I think that's a good trade.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's a great trade. Simon for president. My wide receivers, please rate for this week. Keenan, Moore, Woods, Thielen. Thanks, fellas. Dig your live shows. Appreciate that, Simon. Without Steven's input, I would go Moore, Woods, Keenan, Thielen.
Yeah, I'd go more Woods. No, more Woods, Thielen, Keenan.
Okay.
But man, I tell you what, you know what? This was kind of an accident on my end. Thielen was supposed to be in my must-start video, guys.
God, you ruined the show. Everyone,
I know.
It's
no.
Oh
I mean,
God.
It wasn't a total accident. I did kind of go back and forth because it's so hard for me to include Thielen and not include Justin Jefferson. But man, dude, Adam Thielen was hot right before the bye week. 13 targets, balled out. He had 100 yards. He was hot. He was hot. So I love Adam Thielen this week, man. I'd put him right there with a guy like Robert Woods. Still put DJ Moore over Adam Thielen though. So yeah, I think I'd stay right there. Moore, Thielen, Woods. I don't really care, and then Keenan Allen next.
You heard it from the receiver man himself. Let's see here. DJ Moore worries me. Worries me with his current QB situation. Thoughts?
Hey, why don't we break this down, right? Because I feel like the Catch fam knows about my obsession for DJ Moore, but dude, like, has he been hurting? Right? Like, I feel like he's been super solid all year. I'm pulling up his stats right now just so I can have something available in front of me when we talk about this. But
The volume's still there, absolutely. If you look at the season as a whole, even in a couple of these weeks where Sam Darnold has played poorly, the volume's still there,
Mhm.
right? Um, so I get that it's worrisome, but if it's a PPR league, then you don't really have anything to worry about because he's going to garner on an extremely bad day 6 targets, right? If not 8 targets. So the volume's going to be there.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the way you have to look at him until Christian McCaffrey's back. I will say when Christian's back, I'm scared of his value, right? But that's not going to be for a little bit. So I think right now you can stay with him. And man, Atlanta is like his best matchup he's had in a few weeks too, right? So I think this week for sure you can play him. Obviously, then after that though, I will concede a little bit, right? He's got New England and Arizona coming up next after that. That's going to be a tough time. I don't think I'm going to include him in my must start videos next couple weeks.
Yeah. All right, OZ or Oz. Sorry. OZ. Landry, Pittman, Godman, Diggs, who sits. Ooh, according to Stevens must starts, it's Landry.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be Landry here.
Yeah. It's a good problem, like all those guys, but I think I agree. Case Keenum, right? That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Yeah. K9, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase? Ooh.
I really want to say Tyreek Hill here, but
I mean, this is such a must-win game for the Chiefs. I do think Tyreek Hill could have a monster week.
stud safety
But,
for the Giants just went down. Jabril Peppers, he's out for the season.
but how can you bet against Jamar Chase right now?
Well, we talked about it earlier. Like, I mean, do we think that this Bengals team needs to do what they had to do against the Ravens? Push the ball down the field? I mean, Jamar Chase has been matchup proof. He's been game proof. The guy's just been perfect, right? Tyreek Hill, we can't really say the same about, but
Yeah.
man, it's tough. Both these guys are studs, right? But I feel like I would feel bad about myself if I benched Tyreek Hill. This is a tough question. I want to give an answer though. We need an answer. What's your final take?
Let us know in the chat as well for KA9. Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase. This week. Let's do it this week. That's what I'm assuming the question is, not on the season. I think who else are you starting? Who else do you have on your team at receiver?
Yeah, I will say that. This is a little sketchy. This is like DraftKings or something, maybe, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could totally go out and draft Tyreek Hill and Jamar Chase on the season.
You could.
You could have done it and you didn't, but you were close, right? It's tough, man. It's tough. I think this week, I want to say Tyreek Hill too.
But even if you say Tyreek Hill, right, he's actually got a tougher matchup because he's going against Bradbury, which is one of the best corners in football, right? So, yeah, I don't know, man. Tough. You know what? As I've been talking, I mean, I think a lot of this is like the same argument is like, oh, it's the Chiefs, right? So no, I'm gonna go Jamar Chase here.
Jamar Chase. I agree. Jamar Chase. Steven's got his jersey on. He's probably jinxing him as we speak.
I am.
Let's see here. Do you benching Scary Terry on Halloween? Yeah, not a good idea. It's a spooky season.
Dude, I take back everything I said. Scary Terry, he's in.
Chase Brown, the guy that the Adams, Henderson, Robinson is interested in CMC.
Well, get rid of CMC then. For all those guys, for sure. Honestly, I would give up CMC for Adams straight up. Like, I don't have any faith in Christian McCaffrey the rest of the season.
He's going to offer me some trades. Let me see if they're good. All right, let us know. Khalil, with Knox hurt and Waller on bye, should I pick up Dalton or Uzma or other? Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely Dalton. If you don't get him, get Uzma, but Dalton. Chase Brown at P.F. Chang's. That sounds delicious.
Tasty.
Richard Glass, dressing up as Coach Beard with my coworkers as we have a Ted Lasso.
Oh, I love it. Nice. That's a show I'm definitely trying to get into.
Mr. Best Food, Japanese. Can't pronounce that one. Curry. Hot level 10 with a beer, Marine Sports Food. Let's go.
I love that. Good pick.
I would definitely try that with you sometime, Mr. Juke Chick-fil-A for dinner, Reese's for candy, and my daughter is 2 and going as Minnie Mouse.
Oh, that's cool.
Fiance is going as Daisy Duck and I'm Donald Duck.
I love that.
Love it. Shout out to the Disney family over there, Juke. I love it.
I know John likes that, man. Big Disney guy.
Oh, yeah. My wife is already planning out uh, every single Halloween for our baby has not been born yet. So
I was just gonna say, man, I didn't even want to bring it up. I wanted you to do it, but like, have you guys, what is some of the thoughts? What are some of the outfits that you're thinking about?
in the future,
Yeah.
I don't have any input. I just do as I'm told.
We have
Uh,
the input when it comes to fantasy football. That's about
yeah,
it, man.
yeah,
That's our
yeah.
life.
I actually don't know exactly what she has up her sleeve, but she'll figure out something good.
It'll be cute for sure.
We were supposed to be Wanda and Vision from in WandaVision. There's a point where she's pregnant, and uh, I didn't order the outfits in time, and
John, you screwed it up. This is why you don't get any input, dude.
of course, they take like 4 weeks to order. Like, I looked like 2 weeks ago, and I was and on Amazon, so, like, they had the exact outfit from that episode of WandaVision, and, that's all we really needed, and it wasn't gonna come till, like, Thanksgiving, so, anyways. Anyways, Mr. Halloween costumes solely, my 3-year-old is Mike Lewowski. There you go. I like that one too.
Nice.
Shout out Disney. We love you, Disney. Subscribe.
Yep.
Support our channel.
Please.
Andrea, thanks. I'm 3 and 4. There you go. Troy Smith, that man is a 3-man league. Yeah, tag team. Max, yo, Steven. Is that a
What
Chase
is
jersey?
up? It is, man. I finally got it. Got it in a free bet. I think I mentioned it on here a few weeks ago. It took like forever to get here, but showed up in the mail. Oh man, it put a smile on my face. These new Bengals jerseys, by the way, super fresh. This one and the white jersey. Their white one is very cool too. So definitely recommend jumping on this Bengals bandwagon this season.
Let's do it. Go Bengals. Who dat? Wait, that's the same.
What?
What's the Bengals thing? I'm very
They're
tired today.
they're tigers, man. They
No, no,
just go
but what's
meow.
their no, they're not gonna be on. They got a thing. They got a thing that they do.
Oh,
Uh,
it's not ringing any bells here. Are you
okay,
gonna look up what a Bengals do?
don't worry. I'll get back
They
to this
definitely
one. I'll let you
meow.
know.
That is for sure.
Chase Brown is CEH droppable, especially if I need to win now. Also have Daryl Williams. What do you think, Steve?
I would love to trade him here, and I think you still can. But honestly, he is droppable caliber, right? I think it's going to be really hard to figure out a situation where he comes back as being more relevant than he was. And we were already very spooked about him prior to getting injury. And that injury is just not a good one for running backs, right? And Daryl Williams, man, he looks good, right? He looked very good against Washington. I understand a lot of people were like, dude, he totally disappeared last week. But the Chiefs went away from the run, right? And they stayed away from the run. They kind of don't know how to take their own medicine. They played so well against Washington because they established the run game, which allowed this offense to kind of move the ball down the field. That's what they need to do. So yeah, man, my primary advice here would be to try to find a trade partner for CH because you can still use the name value. This guy was a second round pick.
I'm trying to figure out the Bengals thing. Jason, I think aim for low end RB2, wide receiver 2, different story package. There you go. Mr. Better add block against a guy who is Adams, Cobb, or Bengals D against Jets. I'm okay at wide receiver. Go. Chase Brown, CMC, and Hubbard for Devontae Adams and Henderson. Good for me. Yes. Oh, yeah. If you're getting Devontae Adams and Henderson, take that right now. I'll give away CMC and Hub. Yes. Yes. Don't look back. Yes. Do it, Chase. I don't know what else to say. Do it. I was about to say to the moon. Take it to the moon. That didn't make any sense.
Take it to the moon.
There you go.
Miami.
Hit next. Hey, Catch. Sorry I haven't been joining the stream. I got grounded, but how was y'all's fantasy week?
No excuses.
Oh, gosh. Gosh. No worries, man. We understand. We understand. Peace. I went 2-1 in fantasy this week. Steve and I had some clutch wins this week.
Yeah, very clutch wins.
We set them lineups,
and also got my butt kicked in the Catch Fam League again.
Dude, I don't think you're going to be last in that league.
I'm concerned too with these waiver priority rules that you got put in place to screw me.
Okay.
I don't. Next, maybe that's what you can find out is that John essentially has built this league to defeat me, right? So just chew on that a little bit, all right? So that's what I'm dealing with right now.
This is every year. Okay. Paul, should I start Cooks and Emmanuel Sanders over Myers and Higgins? Evans is my other wide receiver, so he's on my start. Or should I start Herbert at flex? Good questions here. I would lean Sanders,
yeah,
Higgins, Herbert.
Really?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And if not,
Um,
Higgins Cooks.
yeah, I mean, definitely Cooks. I like Sanders here, right? For
Of
sure.
course. Yeah.
And I like Mike Evans are obviously playing him. I lean Khalil Herbert here over a guy like Jacoby Myers and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
But I do think T. Higgins is a good play here as well. But man, I just like Herbert. I think he's a really good play here.
I agree. I agree. All right. Let's see here.
Spina made a roster move. Where is Spina at? Where's
I
Spencer?
did see Spencer hopped in. Yo, yo, yo. Just popping in to say hello. I've got a bunch of assignments tonight. Hope you all have a good stream. Steven, loving the jersey. I'm being a blow up Cartman from South Park this year. Thanks for popping in real quick, Spencer. We appreciate you, bro.
Spence just dropped McManus.
I saw that.
He basically jumped in to drop a kicker. He just did that despite me, guaranteed.
Always good to see you, Spence, and no worries, bro. We understand. I have to do an assignment when I get off here. I don't know how I'm going to get it done, but I'm going to figure it out. Chase Brown, wide receivers are Keenan Allen and Deontay, but Adams would add a lot. Chase, you need to do that trade before your the other owner comes to his senses. Do the trade.
Yeah.
VCG, am I giving up too much? Cooks and Gaskins for Daryl Henderson? No.
Not enough. Maybe give him some more.
That's a good trade for sure.
Yeah.
I love it. Juke Stevens, since you love OBJ so much, I just traded Derrick Henry for him. Thank you for your insight. Much appreciated. That's funny.
That's good. That's good.
JT moving. I don't know if this is a win or loss. I personally feel like it could go either way. Would I give up Mixon, JT, Hines, Kirk, and more?
Whoa.
For Fournette, Robinson, Higgins, and Debo.
Mm.
So, in my eyes, there. Ooh.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
I think you get the upgrade at the receiver position, but losing.
Those are like 2 top 8 backs.
Losing Mixon and JT, I think, is too much. If you take one of them out of that, then it's absolutely worth it. But losing both of those guys is too much. You get the upgrade at receiver, but you're also losing. I was assuming that was Rondo more.
It is, yeah.
Okay, as long as it's not
I'm
DJ
hoping.
more.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah.
I don't know JT moving. I'd let that simmer a little bit longer.
If you've already done it, I could say that like this isn't going to kill your team, right?
Sure.
If you haven't done it, don't do it. That's what I would say. Yeah.
By the way, the Bengals thing is who day.
Who day? There it is.
That was very, very close.
You're very close.
Okay, so I was trying to look through a lot of resources, and I just Googled Bengals chant, and it was the first thing that came up. Joe, assuming Devontae Adams out, do I start Connor, AJ Green, or Jonathan, or Jay Dillon?
After last week, I can't start AJ Dillon. He was awful.
I'd roll James Conner personally.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
You like that?
I like that. Man, AJ Dillon was bad. I think he had 2 fumbles last week on like 3 touches. He was awful.
He had negative points.
Yeah, he was awful.
And I recommended starting him in garbage.
I thought he was going to be great, dude. Like, I don't know what the hell happened. Yeah. He just played. I mean, dude, 2 fumbles and the amount of touches he got, that something was going on. He just wasn't all there.
K-A-9, Nick Chubb or Zeke? Why? How can you not start both of these guys? Can you start both of them, K9? Let me know. I want you to start both Nick Chubb and Ezekiel Elliott. Do you Goddard or Gronk this week if Gronk comes back? Seattle or Chargers D this week? If Gronk comes back, then I think you start him.
Do you? I would actually say that I think you wait on Gronk until after the bye week. I think their bye week's right after the Saints game. Because even if Gronk comes back, he's not going to be 100% healthy. There's a ton of other options that they can go to. I think Goddard here is still a major part. We saw him be used a lot, right, last week. I think that's going to be the same case. They just have another beautiful matchup going up against the Detroit Lions. So I would say take Goddard here, right? Let Gronk get healthy, have that bye week, full rest, and then he can come back and you can put him back in your lineups.
Okay. I don't hate that. I don't hate it.
Dude, I drafted Gronk in like the 3rd round in the Catch Fam League. What the hell was I thinking? That was horrible. That was so bad. That was so bad.
Steven, I think that the people wanted us to play Madden tonight.
They did?
That's what I heard on the rumor block.
What rumor block is that?
I mean, I know you're scared, but I'm just putting it out there.
I can play one game if we do it right now.
All right, Steven's doing it. One game if we play right now. Okay.
Let me just make a call real quick or text real quick.
All right, we're gonna fire up Madden, and we will keep this beautiful fantasy Q&A going. You guys see that little scared face that Steven put on there?
I was. I'm texting the paramedics to get here in case I lose again.
Trying to find my controller. Devontae out this week. Tear face, yes. Yes, indeed. Jaylord, rate my team. Hurts and Henry, Henderson, Saquon, Johnson, Metcalf, Jones, Waddle, Thomas, Kittle, wow. Kittle and Goodert. That's a solid A, right? I mean, I don't really see anything bad about that team. Has anyone seen my Xbox controller?
Yeah, we all.
I found it. I found it.
Okay.
Right in front of me. Yeah, that's a great team, Tyler.
Stretching out.
Juke, I need a flex for this week. Michael Carter, Corey Davis, Lockett, Devontae Parker, or Gallup. Ooh. That's tough. That's tough. I think I want to lean. Why do I want to say Corey Davis here?
I mean, I get it. There's kind of a recipe there, right? But let me ask you this, right?
Yeah.
If Joe Flacco plays, do you think that helps Corey Davis?
What kind of question is that?
He's a deep shot thrower, and that's how Corey Davis has made his bones. Playing the Bengals defense is not a good matchup, but I don't know, right? I think it's better than Mike White, who dinks and dunks it all over the field.
Sorry, I saw Spencer popping. Steven, let's make a trade, brother.
Yeah.
Screw this assignment. I was able to buy the Cheesehead mascot and sleeper store today. Got blessed with the best option.
That is amazing.
I got a new mascot too. I forgot what it was. It was like a piece of pie or something. It was cool. It was cool.
Let's see here. Whoa.
Right, looking at my guy?
I'm trying to get like a cool mascot. I forget how you edit it. I'm not good at technology, dude. Sleeper is such a cool app, by the way.
It is. Mr. Pick 3, Woods, Lamb, Kirk, Sanders, Cobb. Woods, Lamb, Sanders. No question for me. LJW, what's going on? What's you drop? Chris Carson, Kareem Hunt, Madison. Need to make room for QB pickup. Ooh.
Honestly, I'm not afraid of dropping. Wow.
Madison?
It's got to be, right? But I will say Chris Carson, his is so bad. It's like a severe injury.
True.
Right? Like, I don't know if this guy plays, right? So I'd probably go Madison, then Carson, then Hunt.
I think I agree.
Are you going to bite me, big dog?
Yes. Give me 1 second. Got to get it set up here. Hey, we're missing Jerry tonight. Where's Jerry at?
Jerry!
Okay. Chase, I offered, so I got to wait for him. I don't know if he would part from Adams, but I'll try. All right, there we go. I hope it works out for you, man. All right, online head-to-head. Let's see here. Quick match. No. That's not what I want. Back. Play a friend.
Juke, I'll rate his team while you're doing this. Juke, rate my team. Brady Wentz at quarterback. Henry, CMC, Javante Williams, Michael Carter at running back. Wide receiver, DK, Pittman, Corey Davis, Bateman, Devontae Parker, Gallup at receiver, obviously. And then tight end, Uzma and Mo Alley Cox. So first off, Juke, thank you so much for breaking this down by position. That helps out a ton. Second off, I think you got a good team here. I think when fully healthy, getting CMC back, this could be a really dangerous team. But even without him, I think that this is a team that each week you can feel really good about your starters. And I like guys like Rashawn Bateman to really blow up rest of the season too. So I love your team here. I think you got a good squad.
Are we picking our teams?
Boom. Cowboys my first pick.
Eagles.
Bengals my second pick.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm definitely going Cowboys. I need to win against you.
You do need to win against me.
I'll make sure that it's Oh, you control that.
Yeah, you said it in the game invite, but it was on the screen. I put it to all Madden. So
Okay, good.
Sotuber, 24. Which quarterback on the waiver wire wins? Ryan, Garoppolo, or Cousins? I'm leaning Wentz this week, believe it or not, versus Tennessee Titans. Yeah. But great question, man. Great question. Mr. Matt J. Kim, what's going on, brother? Chase Brown, Damian Harris against Chargers, or Zach Moss is RB2? I lean Damian Harris there for sure. K9, sorry, I was not on my PC when I asked, who do you think will do better, Chubb or Ezekiel Elliott? Is there any way you can start both of those guys? Who are you starting in place of them is what I want to know, K9.
I do like Zeke Elliott here more, though. I will just say Chubb coming off the injury. I think Dearness Johnson still probably sees a decent amount of work. And Pittsburgh Steelers defense is nothing to sneeze at in terms of their run D. And, we talked about it, right? There's potentially an argument to be made that this Cowboys team leans on the run because of Dak's injury.
Mm-hmm. Troy Smith, 10-man, money, full PPR, A-Rod, Russ on IR, A.K. Cook, Hill, Chase Pitts, Bench, Hubbard. No questions, just a humble brag. Yeah, your team is stacked, bro. I don't even need to finish reading it. Your team is absolutely stacked, bro.
I love that.
Nothing wrong with some humble flexing, bro. Just don't let it turn to Steven's, level. Chase, can we get Gainwell and start over both? I like Damian Harris more than Gainwell, but I don't mind Gainwell as well in your lineup if you do.
Needs to be PPR. Needs to be a PPR for that.
I don't hate that either. Yeah. Oh, damn it.
Wow, Zeke Elliott is really good in this game.
Adrian, what's going on, man? Just traded Goddard and Landry for Nick Chubb while having Knox, Pitts, and Najee and Zeke. What do you think? I think that's a good trade. I like the trade. But I'm also relatively RB heavy. So I lean RB heavy, but I think that's a good trade and a fair trade as well.
I think Nick Chubb is going to be a stud the rest of the season without Hunt there.
Yeah. Juke only have 2 people from the original team on draft night, Brady and Henry. Did a lot to get there, but happy with my team. Hey, like it, Juke.
That's fantasy football, man. For as popular as fantasy drafts are, mock draft videos, all that, you win championships way after the draft happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, what are you doing in this game, dude? You gonna throw the football? K9, I have Kamara and Harris. Jeez.
Woo!
Hey, like that? Oh my gosh. Game lag. That wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. Spencer, we're not rating your team. I'm just joking, Spence. We'll rate your team. All love, bro. All love. I'm just kidding. Dude, if you don't throw the football, I'm quitting this game. Because the Eagles' run D sucks. Spence, rate my team. Matt Ryan, Henry, Damian Harris, Collins, Keenan, Ridley, Claypool, A-Rob, Rondell Moore. Tight ends are Seals and Gronk. I'm personally going a 3 out of 10.
I love that team outside of A-Rob.
I mean, your team's hurting slightly, man. But it's definitely a team. It reminds me of my own team in mine Stevens League, actually, a little bit. I'm assuming, Spence, that you have 1 or 2 players on IR, that you dealt with some injuries there. But uh, it's not the best team, Spence. But I'm assuming you're dealing with some injuries, Spencer. Am I wrong with my assumption? Oh my gosh.
Oh!
Yes. No, he scooped it into. Oh my
That
god.
was huge,
Oh
dude.
my gosh. Spencer said that was Steven's team in Sleeper League.
Oh, oh, that was good.
That was cold.
You
That
love
was
how in
good.
game analysis I was like, I hate Allen Robinson.
That was cold, Spence.
That
That
was
was
like the
cold.
dirtiest. How are you gonna do that after just ruining my team on draft night? You come out here, Spence. Love you,
That was
baby.
great. That was great. That was awesome. Mr. Mister, I have Zeke, Pollard, and Henderson. Time to trade Montgomery. What value does he have or keep? I would look at teams who are well positioned, right? Like that's where a guy like Montgomery or Hunt or CMC is more likely going to go in your league, right? Um, I mean, it's possible that a team that's just really hurting wants him, but more than likely, it's going to be a team that's well positioned, right? So you would know better than we would, right? Good play there, but you would know better, right? And I think you just target like probably the best team in your league or the team that's the best positioned overall, and you just offer up Montgomery and see what you can get, right? Ronnie, what's going on? What's up, fellas? Gainwell or McKissick in full PPR? I'm leaning Gainwell there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaning Gainwell, but I mean they're both fine starts on the week, but I'm still going to lean Gainwell. Oh, that was a good play. Good drive, Steven.
That
Good
was a
drive.
really good drive.
It's like the best drive you've ever had in Madden. Do you see why I run the football in Madden now? Because it works.
It's a great strategy.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when you're playing with a cheat code. Z.
Dude,
Adrian, rate
Zeke
my
is
team,
badass.
please. Tom Brady, Zeke, Najee, Tyreek, McLaurin, Pitts, Chase. Jeez.
Wow.
What? Benches Dak, Harris, Johnson, Keenan. Not okay. That's just an A. Oh, we've gone over your team, Adrian. Yeah, yeah, we've gone over your team. It's a solid A, bro. It's a solid
Yeah,
A.
you have like arguably the best player at each position.
Yeah, it's a straight. It's a straight A. A plus to say the least. Thank you. Oh my God, bro, the hole.
You thought that was going right, but typical Miles Sanders fashion, he falls short.
I'm about to bench him for Gainwell, bro. Mr. Matt pick him. I'm gonna need an RB in week 9. Should I get AJ Dillon, Gaskin, Gainwell, or Ingram? I would lean sorry, Gainwell all day long. Yeah, all day long.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh my god.
gosh, dude. Oh gosh. What? Well, I
Who
knew that
is
was gonna
that?
happen, bro. Who's Urban?
No, I think it's like what's his name? Brett Urban or Brian Urban. I think he used to play for the Cardinals.
Oh my gosh, that was bold. I knew that was gonna happen. Like as soon as I made the mental decision to make,
Whoa.
whoa, gosh, this is gonna be one of those games, bro. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those games. Oh man. Jason, if that's not an 8 or 10-man league, I'm going to fly out. Spencer, number 3 on waivers this week.
How, man? I don't understand how I'm not there.
Oh, in sleeper league, super team is slowly assembling. Yes, yes, Spence, I have faith in your super team. I do. Okay, okay, okay. If you guys didn't watch the last stream where Steve and I play each other in Madden, now is a good time to observe that.
Hey, there's a little bit of an insight into next week, man. CeeDee Lamb's gonna be scoring.
Troy, league changing trade. Wow, I trade A-Rod, Hubbard, Williams, Hilton for CMC and Higgins. I don't think that's an awful trade. Steven, you haven't been keeping up. I started a face of the franchise on the stream. And
I love it.
yeah, my guy's absolutely filthy. I'm with the Jets. His name is John Madden.
That's right.
And
How was
yeah,
that not a penalty, by the way? I
I don't know.
cracked you out of bounds.
Yeah, they really don't call that in this game.
Which is good. That was so whack.
Yeah, it was whack. Yeah, nice defense, bro. Oh. Okay. Ronnie says, "Hell yeah, thanks, absolutely, brother. That's what we're here for." Oh man, I hate how the full playbook. Oh, this always happens when I play. Yeah, can he defend? Oh,
Oh!
that was a filthy pick,
Dude,
dude.
I love it. You were like talking
I
trash
know.
midway through that.
Oh, oh gosh, dude, we might end up. We might be playing 2 games. This might be over the next 2 minutes.
Uh,
Okay. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh wow. Okay.
this
Chase
game.
Brown, best of luck in fantasy this week. Yeah. Thank you, Chase. I guess that is game, right? That's the rule. That
I
was.
think. Well, I can only play one, so let's just play it out because I can't run clock. That is the one thing.
I do kind of want to see if. Okay, you missed the extra point. I want to see if I can get in this. Stober, is Trevor Lawrence a valid start? Yes. Yeah. For this week. Yeah. It's a good enough matchup that if you're hurting at the quarterback position, you can start Trevor Lawrence this week.
Mm-hmm.
Don't love it, but I don't hate it. Dude, what is this game of Madden?
Dude, I mean, you're technically still in it because I got ball first.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
true.
score, you can score, get the ball back at half, still be in this game.
Thanks for the
Words of encouragement.
yeah. What?
This Dallas
LeBron's
Cowboys defense, man, just as real as they are in real life, man.
yeah, dude. They're like balling. So how are we feeling about the CMC Gallup CD Tony for Hopkins Kamara Michael Thomas trade today? Ooh. I still think ooh, gosh, I could go back and forth on that one.
Oh, come on, man.
Okay, dude. What is happening in this game, bro? What is this? We're playing this whole game. I don't care.
Oh, this is looking
Chase says
rough.
Steven did pick the way better team. I
Well,
agree.
I got it.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my gosh, come on, boy. That was all you.
I was really trying to. Did he thrown 3 passes this game? That was like the worst safety blitz I've ever called in my life. Dude, this is bad, bro. This is bad.
Oh, what was that,
I
Dak?
don't know. It should have been a pick, though. Jane, Steven always beats you in Madden. Get out of here, Jane. Get out of here. We watched the last stream we had together. Get out of
For your
here.
information, I did pay my mom to say that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Get out of here. Okay, I'm sorry, LeBron's brain. I don't mind either side of that. I don't mind either side of that trade. But I think I'm leaning Hopkins and Kamara's side right now. Chase, yeah, Steven did pick the better team. He's a cheater. He's a big cheater. Look at Mike McCarthy. What have you done to this man, dude? Going pre-vet defense.
Oh, what? Against a field goal?
Yeah,
Side
'cause I
Cooper
know what you're
Rush.
gonna do.
Oh, oh.
At this point in the game, I know what's happening. LJW, need QB pickup, top 3 available. Cousins, Jones, Burrow. I have Chase and Thielen. I would lean Burrow. Yeah.
Yeah, I like bro. Here, John,
Chase.
let's play one more. This game's over. We can do one more.
Okay.
This game's a wrap. This is embarrassing. I don't want to embarrass you anymore.
Why does it not let me quit?
Because you're ashamed of yourself.
Wait. What the hell? I just called a timeout.
Spina has proposed a trade to me. Let's see what he gave me. You better give me a lot, Spence.
Steven, see if it'll let you quit.
What the heck?
It's not letting you quit, right?
No.
All right, hold on. I got an idea. Dude, that was... All right, everyone tune back in. Steve and I are about to fire up a fresh game of Madden. First game of the night. You know, don't rewind the stream at all. Yikes. Yikes. LJW, you're absolutely welcome, of course. Let us know,
Philly
guys.
Mike offered me Nick Chubb and Justin Herbert for Derrick Henry and Matt Ryan. Give me a break, Philly
You
Mike.
should do it. I think you should do it. It's a fair trade.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take the trade if I were you. Adrian, so we're going to talk about the fact that the Chiefs might now make it out the wild card. Yeah, if they don't win this game against the Giants, man, I'm telling you, mark my words, I'm betting against the Chiefs, which I've given them a lot of credit over the past 3 weeks about the fact that they can get this thing back together. But
they got a brutal schedule.
And every team wants to beat the Chiefs, man.
Yeah,
there's two teams that everyone wants to beat. It's the Bucs and the Chiefs.
They play after the Giants. They have Packers, Raiders, Cowboys. Right, easily could lose all 3 of those games. Then they've got bye week: Denver, Raiders, Chargers, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Denver. I mean, I see like 3 to 4 losses out of that.
Bro.
Spencer, by the way, I got to bring this up. Sorry to cut you off, John. Spencer offered me Amari Cooper and Elijah Mitchell for Calvin Ridley. I'm considering that.
Yeah. I mean, if it helps Spencer, I'm with it, man. You know,
I'm going to do a counter.
Of course you are. Stover, thanks. I have Lamar someone between Cousins, Winston, Lawrence. Yeah, I think Lawrence is fine this week, man. I really do. I mean, I'm starting him. I mean, it's against Seattle. I'm starting him in my 20-man league, right? And I'm pretty confident in it. The floor there, I would say 17, 18 points. The ceiling around 25 to 26 points. So, yeah, I like Lawrence this week. Let's see here. Let's see.
Have you invited me? I haven't gotten an invite yet.
Yes, I've invited you. Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah.
Why does that always happen?
Focus you.
Play a friend. Lord Bighead. Send game invite. Brandon, what's going on, man? D. Booker, Melvin Gordon, Zach Moss. I'd lean Moss. Booker, as long as Saquon doesn't play, then Gordon. Mr. Mister, thanks for the impromptu stream last week. Love that. Yeah, absolutely, man. Glad you enjoyed it. I think we'll do those again every Monday.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Have the tides have turned. Oh, wow.
Oh, look at this. I don't even have to change my playbook, man. I don't even have to change it. Yeah, you got to be the Bengals, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the there you go. I got the throwback jerseys on. You got the Chase jersey on, bro. LJW, I think Vikes and Boys will be a shootout. Yeah, I think we agree with that as well. Otis, what's going on? Should I start Pittman over Keenan? I think so. I think Steven would agree having him in his must-start wide receivers for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Georgie Young, what's going on? Should I trade Kenyon Drake for Jamal Williams and Uzma while I have Waller on bye? Yeah. Yeah. I think Williams is pretty equal in terms of the handcuff situation there, right? And listen, I mean, Josh Jacobs is on bye week. I think he's going to be healthy by the time week 9 rolls around. So, yeah, if you're hurting that bad at tight end, there's no other options on the waiver wire. Then sure, let me know who's on the waiver wire for you, though. Nice kick, man. Chase Brown, are you worried about Keenan Allen against Pats?
Part of me is.
Part of Steven is.
The Pats aren't even really that great against like opposing offenses, but I don't know, man. This doesn't spell like shootout to me.
Only other wide receiver option would be Judy, so prob best I play Allen.
Yeah, for sure.
I would do Allen there, yeah. Yeah. Steven, what play do you think this is?
All the same plays that you do. Oh my gosh. So frustrating.
Litsky, yo, it's good, y'all. Wow, I don't know why I stumbled over my words there. What good, Litsky? Always good to see you, bro. Adrian, I usually try to stay on, but have work in 4 hours. So good night, y'all. Good night, broski. Thanks for
have a good one,
man. We appreciate you. And hope you have a good work day as well in 4 hours.
Have a good night.
There you go. So those genuine have a good night by Steven. Let's see. AJ Brown or Keenan Allen this week. I'm leaning wow. I'm leaning AJ
That was
Brown between
close.
the two. Yeah.
I love AJ Brown this week for
Yeah.
sure. He's got one of the best, I think, matchups and just overall game scripts going his way. Wow, some things just don't change when you suck like John.
Dude, that you had nothing to do with that. Dude, that linebacker just didn't move. All right. Okay, now I got to get in this game.
Well, you already know what we're doing. Just riding the run game. Oh, wait, psych.
Drew Sample.
Yeah.
Mister, last year Pats beat Chargers like 45-0.
That
Yeah,
is
wasn't that a
correct.
thing?
That was a thing.
Yeah.
One of the weirder games too, right? Because that was the first game Herbert didn't play well, right? Oh, who's
Dude, how am I getting like 7 people in your face? Like, Stover, is Antonio Gibson a start? I think that shit is about to blow open soon. Yeah, it might. Oh gosh, Steven's on a mission.
I think Gibson does have a chance to have a good game here. So I would start him, especially because you really want to start him, like John was saying earlier, because of where you drafted him. But he did see a decent amount of carries last game, coming off the injury concern. But last week, the game script was not in his favor. This week against Denver, who just got destroyed by the Browns and Dearness Johnson, I think we could see an upward trajectory for Gibson going forward here.
Dang it, I messed that play up, bro. Whoa.
You like that? Like that, boy?
Georgie, I don't know if you heard us, man. We did get back to you there. Should I trade Kenyon Drake for Williams and Uzma? Yeah, if there's no other tight ends on the waiver wire, that offer value, then I think it's fine. Because I think Williams and Drake are in pretty similar situations in their respective handcuff situations. So, yeah, I mean, let me know who else is on the waiver in terms of tight ends. But if you need to win now, then yeah, I don't have a problem with that. What was that play, bro? Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Let's see here. Stobar, I just traded I'm sorry. We need to back up here. Jason Kenobi, Steven, what do you want for Ridley or Allen?
I like that another person's coming into the mix here due to the fact that me and Spence are getting so close to a deal, like he said. I will say that the thing that I need more than anything is a running back. So if you can give me a running back for Ridley, I'm definitely going to be looking at your trade as favorable. And Ridley is on my trade block right now. I don't think officially yet, but I think after Spencer's thrown out a couple of deals, I do like kind of some of the offers he's given me. He threw out guys like Elijah Mitchell. He threw out guys like Tony Pollard, but he packaged them with guys like Amari Cooper, right? But I think if you gave me a big name running back, I would definitely be making that move.
All about Steven. Oh, gosh, dude, I don't like this. I don't like this play. I knew it. I knew exactly.
Oh,
you didn't get it. Mr. Matt J. Kim. Hey, Steven, who do I start? Nick Folk, McManus, or Greg the Leg Zerline?
Ooh, I like that question. Let me take a second to look at this real quick.
Steven, don't trade with Kenobi till after this week since I play him.
My gun instinct here says to go with Greg the Leg Zerline here. I do think Nick Folk has a great option as well. As I've had some time to marinate on the week, I've really started to grow towards Zerline just because I do think this is going to be a really high-scoring type of game. But, man, you can't go wrong with Nick Folk either. He's got a great matchup there against the Chargers. Yeah, man, I don't know. Nick Folk's been solid on the year. I got Nick Folk or Zerline. You're not going to be mad at yourself either way.
You like this play, Steven?
I am mad at myself about that, though.
Oh, no. 4 rushes, 88 yards. Stober, I just traded AB for Cook and Judy plus Sterling for Elijah Mitchell. What do you think? If you're, confident at the receiver position, he needed running backs, that he made some great trades. As long as, the rest of your roster looks fine. in terms of the receiver position, then I think you're fine. Dude, are you okay back there? I can just hear your controller going crazy, bro. It's gonna be okay, man. It's just Madden. What was that? Get
This
out
is
of here.
Madden. Dude, this game has been very tight, man.
LeBron's brain. I think Gibson injury proved to be over talked about this week. He looked fine. There you go. Chase Gibson or Damian Harris is RB2. I really like Damian Harris this week.
Damian
Really,
Harris for
really
sure.
like him.
But I will agree. I was like ready to sell Gibson for scraps and cookies last week, and then he comes out and he actually looks a lot better. Now, this injury, the one concern about it is that I don't think it's going to go away. And so I still be exploring trade offers for Gibson. But yeah, I think right now you can start him and be okay with having him in your lineups.
Ooh, that was scary. Let's see. Gordy, you're surprising and thinking the same way I am. I love it. Let's go, Gordy. Litsky, who can I trade for Joe Mixon, RB, and wide receiver? Probably pretty good value. But if you're going to try and get two players, that's going to limit things just a little bit. So that's kind of the interesting part there. You get out of here with my play. Let us know who you're thinking of targeting, man. Chase Brown, because Harris will be useless once Pats get behind and Chargers get a good lead. To some degree, but he's been kind of the heartbeat of that offense lately. So
he has.
Jason, do you want Antonio Gibson?
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to see. I don't know if I'd do it straight for that though. Would you do a Ridley for Gibson?
I consider it if I was needy enough, like you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely consider it. Dude, what is happening right now? Gordy, Conklin, Freiermuth, Ingram, Njoku, Arnold, Everett on the waiver wire. Okay. I mean, if you don't want to lose that value, man, then I think that let's go.
That was such bullcrap. What? This guy stayed up?
I think that Sterling Shepard's a fine play for the week, actually.
Yeah, I love him this week.
Yeah, so I think that would allow you to hold on to Kenyon Drake, which could, if Jacobs isn't recovered, then it could benefit you. So I would take a chance on Sterling Shepard this week, and then you don't potentially benefit a team. I think Drake on the season will probably have a little bit more value than Williams. So you like that, Steven?
That was so whack. That was so whack.
Yeah, Georgie, I think you could roll with Shepard for the week. Hey, guys, make sure we're smashing that like button, man, as we move. Wow, 10:30, man. What a fun stream time. Anyways, make sure we're smashing that like button, and make sure if you guys are new here, you do hit that sub button down below. And become part of the Catch fam so you can watch Steven get mad at me and Madden more often. Let's see here. Joe, I think you kind of answered this already, but bear with me. My league has a limit of 15 moves per year. I already have 6. I've used 6, but I have 2 QBs and 2 tight ends. I need a defense. Do I grab Bengals for this week and grab Cowboys next week for rest of season?
Oh, yeah. Joe, saw you in the defensive videos this week. Love to see in the live chat as John misses that kick. Yeah, so I mean, Bengals here are a great play this week, and I think they're more favorable than the Cowboys on this week, right? But as we were talking about, you have those limited waiver moves in your league. So I don't know if I'd want to burn it on a defense, right? I think I'd just stick with the Cowboys because this is a defense that you could probably keep on your starting squad rest of the season.
I agree with that. I do. The thing with the Cowboys, right, we talked about this a little bit. They can give up a lot of points and still come out with a good fantasy day. So I don't mind them at all. Let's go.
Great pick.
Let's go.
Great pick.
Ooh, a trade is now pending in the Catch Fam League. Georgie, Conklin, Freiermuth, Ingram, and Njoku on Everett on the waiver. Follow-up about the trade. Kenyon Drake for Williams and Uzma. I'm essentially thinking the same way. They're pretty equal. Kenyon feels pretty touchdown dependent versus Williams gets frequent touches. You could look at it that way as well. And I mean, I think Uzma might give you, a higher ceiling than potentially what you get out of Shepard, but Shepard might be a little bit more consistent. So, I mean, I think either way, it's fine, right? I don't think you're losing a lot of value either way. All right, let's see. What? Okay. Stober, yes, I'm starting Debo, Chase, and Jefferson. I love that right there, man.
Oh yeah.
Shepard or AB in the flex? Ooh, I'm leaning AB if he plays, man. I'm leaning AB. Woo!
What?
No way. You never outmuscle the lizard, man. LeBron's brain. I really like Tony. No lie. No lie. No
No
lie.
lie, no lie. Yeah, yeah. That was weird.
You can always count on me and Steven for the 2008 throwbacks.
Lock the door.
What?
I'm a soul survivor.
Okay, yeah. Soul Survivor. I mean, Akon,
The young Jesus.
Yep.
Nice.
Let's see here. Okay. Chase Brown. I really like Tony No Lie. It's totally not because I have him.
No lie.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Chase Brown, wide receivers are ready, Ridley and Amari, but I want to start Shepard. Got to start Amari, I feel. Oh, shoot. That was a tough pass right there. That was scary. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I need to kick this field goal. Do you remember that one time we played Madden and I was like, oh, gosh. Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Never mind. Forget that last comment. Do I get the ball?
No idea.
Oh, God. Oh, gosh. What do you think I was trying to do there?
The same play you do every play. You're going to hit a slant.
I was trying to run it, man.
Oh, really?
Stober, am I the only one lagging? I hope we're not lagging. Let me know, guys. Chase Brown, I'm sorry. Shepard or AB in the flex? Yeah. Like I said, I think we both really like AB in this position as long as he plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't mind Shepard, as I see you saying that you want to start him as well. But I think that you're going to get a higher ceiling out of AB, Chase. So I think I'm leaning AB. Georgie, I go after Shepard, but the owner of my league has McCaffrey, Damon Harris, Chase Edmonds. Wouldn't want Kenyon, in my opinion. Yeah. But if Ingram's on the waiver wire, man, I think that's a fine play for the week. Dude, that's baloney, dude. Let's see here. Ewick. Yo, do you think I should trade DK for Tyreek? Yes.
Yeah, I would definitely try to trade off of DK to get a guy like Tyreek. I mean, even though the Chiefs have been looking sluggish this year, you're still getting either Mahomes or Tyreek or Kelsey at absolute rock bottom right now, because if they start hitting their stride, they're the best at their position.
Yeah.
Which they're still the Chiefs, so they're probably going to get right back into gear at some point, right?
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I mean, just the ceiling that Tyreek Hill provides for you on a weekly basis. I mean, I love DK Metcalf. I think he's going to be just fine on the rest of the season, but I know the Chiefs have been bad, but I just don't see a scenario where Tyreek Hill is this bad for the rest of the season, you know?
Yeah.
So I think you definitely consider it, man.
He's
But
not even bad. He's just not
Sure.
like been elite, right?
Yeah, I would follow your conviction on that, but I think it's definitely worth thinking about. Absolutely. Man, you guys are killing it tonight. Catch Fam was in full force tonight, man.
That trade was accepted by Spencer now, by the way.
Should I expedite it? Am I expediting it?
Well, yeah, ahead of this week. You don't have to do it right now, but before
Spencer
this,
says, pleasure doing business.
yeah, it was. If you don't know, the deal was Amari Cooper, Tony Pollard, and Elijah Mitchell. This was coming from Spencer, and out of that, he got Allen Robinson and Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I like that trade. Both sides.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't mean to do what I just did.
I mean, you know that for me, I needed the running backs, and I'm a fan of both those guys listed, um, Elijah Mitchell and Tony Pollard. But I also think that getting a guy like Amari Cooper adds a little bit of a value for me. Oh wow. He gives Amari Cooper still does give me like a receiver that on a given week can blow up and give me top finishes, right? So I like Cooper, but I understand what Spencer's trying to go after there. He sees Calvin Ridley. Calvin
Yeah.
Ridley is about to explode, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I drafted him where I did in the Catch Fam League. So yeah, I totally understand Spencer's logic, but I also want to hear more about Spencer's reasoning for this. Okay.
Chase says, I think Steven wins that trade. Not going to lie. Spencer says, Robinson probably going to get dropped. I don't need RBs.
Wait, you're going to drop James Robinson? I would have traded you my kidney. Oh, Allen Robinson. I was like,
yeah. I was just going to let you talk, but
I was like, dude, why did I not ask for him?
what was that throw, A-Rod? A-Rod sucks in this game, bro.
Maybe it's the user, bro.
It might be, you know. LeBron's brain Cooper's going to be elite after Gallup is back. We shall see. We shall see.
Oh, I'm just lucky the linebacker hung with him. I don't know. I'm kind of on the other side of the coin there. I think when Gallup comes back, I think it's even less targets that are going to go to him, just because Gallup is a really good weapon. I think Cooper, that's even more competition for targets there. But I will say, I do like Cooper. It's going to be sketch, right? I'm not going to start him over Keenan Allen per se, but I'll start him over my other receiver, Mr. Chase Claypool. And wow, I don't know how you dropped that ball. Luckily, I destroyed Aaron Rodgers after the pass.
It's hard to not, right? Yeah, what was that, dude? That was like, let's see here. Pollard and Elijah have no value to me now that bye week hell is over.
I agree.
Fair enough.
It was kind of a trade that worked out perfectly. And Spencer and I have been working on a trade. He's been eyeing Calvin Ridley for the past couple weeks. But we've been working on a trade over the past couple of weeks. He's throwing out some offers, and this is kind of the perfect scenario for both of us.
Look at you guys coming together
after he destroys me on draft night.
Coming together for a good cause. Steven and Spence here on the catch. Mitchell's value will be gone soon with Jeff Wilson and Mostart soon.
Mostert's gonna be out all season, right?
I believe so, actually. But Wilson is coming back.
Oh, jeez. Jason Kenobi said, Steven, I'm happy to be in the market for a kidney. I'm offering DeAndre Swift for one. Never mind. That got out of that offer. But DeAndre Swift is very appealing.
Oh, absolutely. How is that a flag?
Yo, if they give this on me again.
No, it's intentional grounding because this game is baloney. LeBron's brain, I think Gallup coming back will take away from Schultz, add more opportunity for Cooper. It could, but add more. Yeah. We'll see. Boom, baby. Oh, God. It's a bad man right there, Aaron Rodgers.
It's a dangerous man.
Yeah. What are your corners doing, dude?
They're playing press.
I'm just gonna toss it up because why not?
Oh my gosh.
That's how this game works. You find Devontae Adams, you throw him the football.
Oh, he's hot too. You might as well get right back to him.
I'm running it right up the middle with AJ Dillon.
Dude, that was good.
AJ Dillon scored a touchdown. Start him in your fantasy leagues this week.
That's kind of how we do our analysis.
Yeah, we just see who does well in Madden. I'm running it right up the middle with A-Rod. Just kidding. I'm throwing it to Devontae.
I really wanted to destroy him.
I'm doing an onside kick. Dude, why did they take squib kicks out of Madden?
I don't know. That was so whack and unnecessary. Like, there was no reason to take that out of the game. It's actually not out of the game. You could just press LB and squib it.
Yeah, that's true. Spencer. Oh, gosh. I didn't think you were taking that out. If Judy ends up being the guy I think he's going to be, I will be extremely happy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Judy has a great opportunity to be the guy.
I almost
And
asked for him in the trade.
I still love Judy on the season, man. Love you, Jerry Judy, if you're out there listening. You're my guy.
Maybe we'll get Jerry Judy as a subscriber and lose Odell. I would make that trade.
I would too. Actually, I don't know. Odell might help us out more in the long run.
Yeah, probably.
No.
Wow, that was an opportunity to win the game right there.
Is it better for a 6 or wait? Is it better for a 4 or 16 playoff? I say 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I say
I like
6.
the longer playoff.
Yeah, I say 6, and then more people get to go, and it's just better for the league.
Yeah,
And it gives those teams, a bye week, right? The two best teams. I think they deserve that. So I like 6. Georgie and Stober, I see you saying we have a 10 team. Yeah, even in a 10 team, I think that's fine. Georgie, Waller for Michael Thomas. I think you hold on to Waller. Whoever has Wallers is the better side of things there.
Oh, wow.
Spencer, I wouldn't have given him up. There you go. Spencer has faith in Judy.
Yeah, I like that.
Stober, we've 10 team. Vopsy, what's going on? Pick up Kirk for Tannehill. I think you can. Yeah, I think you can. But I think Tannehill will probably have another decent game this week versus the Colts.
Yeah.
Put Kyler. Ooh, sorry, LeBron's brain. I'm not. Ooh, good catch, Steven. Put Kylan Hill in at RB for easy touchdown.
Taysom. Oh, I was gonna say I don't know about that. I think don't the Packers have a backup running back like Keelan Hill or something?
Oh,
it's like a third string running back.
Dude, don't mess with Gary. Oh no.
Oh my.
That was a scary play, dude. I don't know why you threw that right there.
I was getting excited.
All right, guys, as we start to wind down the stream, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure if you guys are new to the channel that you've hit that sub button. You become part of the Catch fam tonight. Yeah, Steven's getting close to the loss, but appreciate everyone coming out, man. Tonight was an absolute blast. Great fantasy Q&A. Hope you guys enjoyed the must-start wide receiver and must-start running back segments of the night. And just appreciate all you guys. Appreciate the Catch fam continuing to grow day by day. It's great. Great. Community is great. Steven is heated as his nice, loud breathing comes through the mic. Appreciate all you guys. Make sure if you're new here, you hit that sub button down below. Hit that like button if you guys didn't do so already. And make sure you guys tune in. We'll be on at the same time tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Maybe if you're lucky, we'll swing on by 7:30. But let's plan on 8 p.m. Must start quarterbacks and tight ends tomorrow, followed by fantasy Q&A. And if we can get Steven... wow, good play. If we get Steven in a really good mood, maybe he'll play me in Madden again. But
this is going to be an interesting finish right here. Let me just say that this is not a loss. That was a crazy catch.
Hey man, it's Jamar Chase.
Oh, did you know who I was going to?
Yeah. LeBron's saying it's the third string, but he's the best. Hail State. Okay, I'll keep that in mind if I get the ball back here. He had like 4 people on him. I saw you make the audible.
This game's getting intense. Neither of us are talking.
I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. You gonna hit Uzma or Boyd or Mixon? I think you're leading Mixon. You're giving the hot rod to Uzma, aren't you? Ooh!
Oh yeah, baby! Holy smokes, man! This is when boys become men, right?
Oh shoot, dude! Why is what's this defensive set, bro? No way. Oh, that was a nice score.
I know. Nice score. I don't need to hear you talk. All right, but dead ass though. Extra point on the line right here.
Oh, dude, I was doing math wrong. I don't know why I thought you needed the. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it'd be tie game. Chat about to go crazy if Steven wins here.
Dude, there's such a considerable lag on this online mode, dude.
Oh, they come back crazy. Let's hold off, guys. Let's hold off.
Imagine if this happened in real life, dude.
Oh gosh.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh,
dude, I had such a lag on that play. Like, I had so much lag going on there.
I like know where you're gonna go, but it doesn't matter. Oh wow, you actually looked in a different direction?
Well, because I knew you wouldn't be looking over there. That kick was awful. Steven threw, you sold. Galen Hills. Oh my gosh, I'm lagging. I'm lagging. This is not fair. I pressed every button. Oh my gosh, dude.
It doesn't even matter, dude.
Dude, could have gotten field goal range with 1 second left.
You wouldn't have. There was like 3 seconds on the clock.
Dude, the biggest takeaway from this game is I did not kick that field goal before second half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I should have made an extra point.
No, I mean, I would have already won. I would have already won. Gosh, dude, of course you get the ball. Mr. Thank you for stream. My wife has stage 3 ovarian cancer. I met her at the beginning of the season. I bet her at the beginning of the season I would win my league. Win 20,000, save her life so far. I'm up 5,000. One in my league, 5-2. Love you guys. Wow.
That is like the best. Yeah, wow, that's amazing, man. We're praying for you too. That's
yeah.
Definitely thoughts are with you and your wife and your entire family, but anything we can do to help you get through this time for sure.
Absolutely, man. Big love to you, bro. Best of wow. Jamar Chase. Okay. Of course, Steven has to ruin the moment. You know? A good Madden play. But yeah, man. Nothing but good vibes. Love your way, Dan. And hopefully we can help you win that money, man. If not, then let us know what else we can do for you, bro. Absolutely.
I mean, man, I appreciate your support too.
Yeah, man. Thanks for helping. This money helps her with her treatment and her hate for football. Fair enough. I understand that part.
Yeah, I think we all can relate to that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, hopefully we can help you win that money, man. Absolutely.
Wow, that just gave there are some good things that come out of fantasy that isn't just football related, and it's stories like that too. So definitely good to hear that kind of thing. And and like we said earlier, man, thoughts are with you, Mr. Mister. You've been a loyal supporter since day one.
TS, I need to pick up an RB for week 9, and here's what's on the waiver. Herbert, Gainwell, Gordon. I'm 8th on waiver. Which one should I be targeting first? Chase Brown says Herbert. I think I agree, and then I put Gainwell number 2 for sure.
Yeah, I like Herbert.
Yeah. Good old Herbie.
Herbskins.
Oh my gosh, dude. Dude, I just can't get these sacks this game.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? Something's the difference, I guess, because you've just been terrible. This game is hurting you. I know it is.
I mean, I should have won this game like a while ago. So,
so should I.
Yeah, this game has been. Oh my gosh, Joe Mixon. Oh no!
Game over, son.
Got loose. He got loose.
Game over.
Dude, I just want to say to the NFL, I don't agree with the new overtime changes. Right?
Yeah.
I should have a chance to win that game. Okay.
That's why. That's why you don't agree.
That's why. It's all because of Madden. Okay. Tonight, Steven's the champ. If you guys have any doubts about my Madden skills, right, go back and check out the last time
Steven and I played
together. Friday
those
night.
are way more exciting matchups, by the way.
This was a good matchup. This was a good matchup. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go cry in a corner. Appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Brad Montgomery, would you all trade Bolden and Barkley for CMC? Yes.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Good question though, Brad, but yes. Yeah. that's going to do it for tonight, man. Hope you guys had a blast. We will be on tomorrow by 8 p.m. for the must start QBs, must start tight ends. Appreciate everyone coming out. Appreciate all of the new subscribers tonight, man. Yeah, absolutely. Catch family is growing day by day. It's amazing, man. You guys are the best. Thank you, Steven, for coming out for the night, man. We'll be back on tomorrow. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live stream. Hit that like button. Hit the sub button if you haven't done already and you're new. Check out the Patreon page down below if you're ever interested. Let us know in the comments if anything comes up between now and tomorrow's stream. And that's all I got. What you got for the closeout there, Steve?
Yeah, also keep your eyes out for the kickers too, right? Got the kickers as well coming
Kickers
up.
is dropping tomorrow morning.
Must start kickers video, baby. And we got some exciting names. We got some pickles that are going to be involved in this one. We got some, some great options. The Bass Man might make an appearance. So yeah, definitely a lot of excitement.
There you go. End the stream on pickles. All right. Got nothing else to say, but thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, it's out here on the catch and peace.
Peace.
All right. Goodbye, the catch.